Hey man, can you believe it? I fear the flow under my feet.
Welcome back once again. The fourth time this week PUBG Online is live. It is time for NA. It is week 6. It is the last week of split number 1. A lot of exciting things going on. Jabroni Mac here with Mustache Dave. Toffees could not join us on this fine evening. So a last-minute replacement in Optic 17. The newly Twitter verified Optic 17.
This is true.
That's true. Yeah.
Kind of
Just
a big
little
deal.
subtle, yeah, kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. So, first of all, thank you both for joining me. Obviously, Dave, as always, you're the man, and I love you. And Tanner, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me again. I'm glad I didn't overstay my welcome last time.
Well, you know, let's not go that far. Let's not say that that didn't happen. But today's an exciting night. First of all, it's the end of Split 1, meaning we're finally going to have not only our top 3, our prize money winners, but we will also have our top 16, the teams heading into Showdown in split number 2. So first and foremost, before I even get to anything else, 17, you and Optic,
Yes,
you're sitting
it's
in
me.
first place overall right now. That's where you are.
Yeah.
Okay?
We are
But-
indeed. Yep.
But you are not completely in control of your own fate tonight, as you have a couple teams nearby that are playing this evening with the opportunity to get some points. So let's see exactly where you stand here. Let me get the correct number so I know. You have 1,510 points. Totality actually holding down second place. They're not playing tonight. Wild card. They are
Right.
playing tonight. Wild card. They are 299 points behind you. That's a lot of points. That's a nice gap, but possible. Still
Yeah,
feasible.
definitely possible.
Are you a little nervous here tonight? A little worried that wild card might be able to get up there? You know, are you sitting here with a little anxiety, kind of paying attention?
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I'm not worried at all, man. It's out of our hands. We came out with a statement last night like we needed. We put up a lot of points, and we feel like we got almost the best lead we could have gotten. Given that there's a couple things we could have done differently last night, played a little bit better, but it's out of our hands now. We're gonna be watching, and I'm gonna be a fan just as much as anyone else watching. So hopefully there can be a little. One of these teams will step up and make it a little interesting out of wild card and safe res, and
Yeah.
I'll be there cheering on,
Okay.
just watching as a fan.
Okay, and Safe Res, that's the other team, formerly MLGB, now Safe Res. They are, I say it all the time, they are one of the most consistent teams in NA PUBG. I don't know what it is. They're always top 5. It seems like every game they're top 5. So those two teams may be able to make the push past Totality into the top 3, into the money a little bit. Now, Dave, first, before we get into who can lose their spot and who can gain their spot,
What's up?
What
What's up?
do you think is going to happen there? What are your predictions? What are the Mustache Dave predictions on who gets into the money?
Listen, talking about money, my ears start
I
ringing.
know,
they
that's
start
why I went
burning.
right to you.
My
That's
hands
why I
start
went-
itching, all right? My hands are itching. Now, I'm going to put a lot of faith in these guys. And I'm going back to the very beginning of this season. All right, wild card. I bet my house. I took out a second mortgage on you guys. Let's go. Let's see if you can come through tonight. Get that 200. Not 299. Get 300 points.
Oh.
So you can get rank one in this lobby. And, I just got to spice it up. I mean, we got the Optic Man over there himself. So, I mean, we have to have some type of feud here. So 300 points. Easy, baby. Easy. Let's go wild card. Let's go.
Keeping it in wild card, keeping the dreams alive. It was, I'm pretty excited to see how close they can get or if they can even pass. It's exciting. 300 points, that's a lot of points. It's 100 points per win, 3 points per kill. So it's a lot of points, and they're playing 4 games. It's very possible. It would be very exciting to see how close they get, or if
I have a question for you, Mac.
Oh God!
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay, but I'm
do we know who Wildcard's 4th is tonight? Are they playing with the same 4th as last week? Are they playing?
We don't. I don't have
yet?
confirmation. I don't have confirmation until we get into the game.
He's scared. He wants to know. He wants to know.
I can see the roster, but we do have 6 names on the roster. So we'll see who is lucky number 4th, or if that 4th that was here last week.
I think I have an idea.
Oh,
but I'm
wait,
not leaking
nope.
it. I'm not leaking it.
I do have an answer.
Austin?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's not Austin.
Drum roll, or what are you like? Are you just gonna try and?
Yeah, what's he doing here? Getting a little awkward.
Sharp Shot HD.
Oh, Sharp Shot HD, 300 points.
Solid.
Let's go.
300 points.
Easy.
Hey, if they have a day like FaZe had today in EU, right? I mean,
yeah.
They'll have it done by the 3rd game.
To my Sharp Shot, Kickstart, and Pride will be the 4 heading in there for Wildcard tonight. So exciting times. Exciting times here tonight. But now we got to talk about the other teams, because this is all about getting into the top 16. So we have 4 teams that are not playing tonight. They played last night. They are not in control of their own fate. They are in the top 16 right now, but if teams get points tonight, they will be passed. That is Render, 16th overall. They're in a position right now, it does not look like they're going to be able to stay in the top 16. After that, in 15th, you have Turtle Squad with 901 points. 4 PUBG players in 13th with 938, and then just above them, Nova with 965. Those 4 teams, they are at risk tonight. And who is the teams chasing? Because this is quite a group of 4 that are chasing these spots. Ronin, Ghost, Team Envious, and Slime Squad. So I want a little opinion here. I'm going to tell you both to pick 2, because I don't think all 4 of them are going to get there. What 2 of these teams for you do you predict will be able to get into the top 16, will be able to get in split number 2 of Showdown? Dave, I'm going to go to you first.
Whoa, I'm pointing. But okay. Go to me first.
Get your point at it. Come on. Yeah.
Hey, my point doesn't mean nothing. First of all of those 4 teams that you named on the cusp or that played last night, they did a phenomenal job.
Sure.
So regardless, in my opinion, if they do get bumped out, they went out with a bang. They definitely performed. And they did well. So put some S in the chat, because they're probably not going to make it. But regardless, though, it's easy. I'm just going to go with one team that's so easy to guess. Ghost. And I'm sure 17 is going to have to agree with me. And he's under contract to agree with me here tonight. But the third one or the second one, that's a toss-up. I mean, Envious, you got to say Envious, right? I mean, they're just
Kaisuko, man.
A strong team. Yeah, strong team. But I also like the Ronin boys. So I know it's a tough call. But easy call for Ghost. Easy.
Okay, all right. Mr. 17, what do you think? Which 2 teams are most likely for you to get into that top 16? I know I'm putting you on the spot, because you're gonna,
You are. I'm gonna get roasted.
Yeah.
But sure. I'm gonna take you by surprise, and I'm gonna predict that Envy, Ghost, and Ronin all make it in. To the
all 3 make it in. So that means 4 PUBG players, Turtle Squad, and Render would all lose their spot if that happens. And it is possible all 4 can make it.
It is possible.
And take all 4 of those spots. So it is something that could realistically happen. Ghost and Ronin, they are the 2 furthest behind. They have the biggest challenge tonight, if you will. They have a lot of points to make up. Team Envious, they are right now, out of the 4 teams, they're in 20th. They're the closest. They're the ones that have the most realistic chances.
And Mac, yes. I don't want to discredit Slime Squad here. Okay, they're a great team and they got a ton of potential. But I understand that there's been some roster changes recently. Yep. So I'm not sure quite how they'll mesh together. But I just want to mention that I don't want to discredit them at all either. Great team, and excited to see if maybe all 4 can get in tonight.
Yeah. So for anyone that watched EU today, EU was strange in where we had about 16 teams within 200 points of one another. Here in NA, we don't have that. The spread is a little wider. So what's going to happen is Envious, they're the closest to getting in. They are still 101 points out. So they are not a guarantee to get in like we had in EU. We had 2 teams that were pretty much a guarantee. They just had to show up. And that was kind of the challenge for them. But here in NA, we don't have any teams like that. Ghost is 120 points out. Slime Squad, 102. Ronin, 120. So they're all pretty close, but I don't know if all 4 of these teams can grab 100-plus points tonight. Now, we are finally getting down to it. I am nervous. I hope you guys are not. Basically, the way this is going to work is we're going to play 4 games. We will try and keep you updated with the leaderboards as much as possible. As soon as we get the scores, we'll try and throw them on Dash. Just kind of keep you posted on where these teams are. We will also make sure you know who to keep an eye on. So the 4 teams that are playing tonight to keep an eye on. Ronin, they are labeled as team number 4. Ghost will be labeled as team number 10. Envious labeled as team number 11, and Slime Squad as team number 15. And if you're keeping an eye at the top of the leaderboard to see who gets in the money, Safe Res at team number 2, and Wildcard at team number 9. So that's pretty much what to keep your eye on. Those 6 teams, a lot of big stuff needing to come from all of them. And of course, hey, maybe we have a surprise from a little down the road. Shoot to kill. Tanner's got his eye on you a little bit. He said something before the stream. But let's hop into game number 1 right now with Mr. Porosaurus and Esquire.
And welcome, everyone, to Game 1 of the final night of PUBG Online North America. I am Porosaurus, and with me, of course, Mr. Esquire. How you doing, my man?
Doing good, doing good. Pretty excited for this last day of split number 1, Poro. It's been quite a split number 1, and split number 2 is going to be exciting with these teams sort of shaping up on the rosters.
Let me tell you what's going to be exciting. Look at all these unknowns just dropping all the way across the map. All right, this is going to put a little bit of a strain on us. We're going to try to get as many names right as we can, but forgive us if we might not know who some of the unknowns are. We do also have a couple of new announcements for a couple of players that are joining teams. So Kaisuko just announced today for the roster of Envious, and just minutes ago, Coldamenta getting announced as the newest member of Team Ronin.
Yeah, so some new things happening in the PUBG professional community. Yeah, certainly. And I mean, it's going to be exciting, just like I was saying, to see how it sort of transitions into the more competitive split number 2 that we have coming up. But with that, Poro, we do have the plane coming out of the southwest corner of the map, heading up to the northeast. Pretty nice angle right there for the players to work with. They're going to be able to spread out towards most of the drop locations that they're used to going towards. Not a lot of congestion in any particular area, except for a little bit on the centralized area of the map. But they do have a little bit of room to work with.
Yeah, it's a fantastic plane. It really opens up pretty much the entire map. So you can see Ghost Gaming, fresh off of their PGL victory, dropping in Pachinki, managing to keep that spot to themselves. Oh man, Team 1 Hooligans, we're gonna have a really rough time with you. Pretty much, you just gotta hope that Microfry does everything for you, because otherwise you're not getting credit for it. And there's our first circle, a hard northwest circle, which is gonna favor teams like Envy and SafeRes, who are currently fighting for first.
Yeah, it will definitely favor them. Not a lot of teams actually ending up landing anywhere in that safe zone. We have, a few teams in that North Georgia pool and hospital area. Shots already coming out, though. That's going to be Envious actually taking some shots at some passerby. I believe, that's going to be SafeRes, Steezy, BB, and the rest of his squad trying to transition right in between this Envious squad here. SafeRes, this being one of the locations that they really like to drop around this South Georgia pool and hospital area. So, able to get out of there without taking any damage. It looks like a Steezy B taken down to about 60% actually. So, that's going to hurt, but, at least they have their lives to walk away with.
Absolutely. They're going to be able to take this South George looting location that usually Envy likes to go to. So this could turn into something, depending on if Envy decides to try to push into this area in a little bit. But we shall see as the rest of our teams just kind of get around to looting. It looks like Microfy is taking some shots at some passing boats, but that shouldn't amount to anything. I'm really curious as to where they're going to go, though, because where's my monitor currently setting up shop in Novo? Meanwhile, Set to Destroy also looting Mill to Power. So Mars TV, Ron Paul, these guys don't really have very many places to go. I think they actually might be linking up with the rest of their teammates in Milton, Maine. Okay, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's where they're going. So, okay, Exodus going to just all regroup here in Milta. So we hope for a little bit of excitement off the bat, but doesn't look like there's going to be anything just yet.
No, but quite a bit of time actually wasted right there in traveling for them, Poro. They're going to give that up, a little bit of that looting time here in Milta. They have it to themselves, but a lot of it might be unclaimed given that rotation that they're going to have to make here in about 3 minutes, pushing them up towards that northwest corner of the map where the first safe zone of match number 1 of the evening lies. But Poro, we have more shots coming out right now. I mean, look at this. This is in North Georgia Pole. We've got Spray sliding by. That's going to be Spray with the Slime Squad passing by Noble here in North Georgia Pole, able to get away, but taking about 50% damage. In the meantime, he is all alone. His teammates are not near him, so he needs to be very careful. Jutsu in the apartments ends up spotting him. He's going to be outside, so possibly able to get some advantage on him, but the wall is going to serve to block any more shots that he's going to be able to take. Spray able to get across that hill and is going to be able to get out of there. But a lot of damage taken early in this game so far, Porosaurus, during these sort of scouting and transition periods.
Well, it's a good job for them to head north and try to get themselves an area where they can either loot or at least try to set up shop. You could see while we were watching that in the kill feed, we saw Steezy BB take out an unknown somewhere on the map. An unknown was killed off by Steez. I'm guessing, yeah, he might have gotten the kill out of a guy passing by in that Jeep. So Spray might have lost a partner of his. Not sure how that, where exactly that happened, but that's the most likely scenario. As you can see, Ghost now sending Profi out early to try to find a place in circle. He's going to pass really near to Alo, but Alo probably might send a few shots that way, but that shouldn't end too much. Nothing much should come of that, I wouldn't think.
No, about a minute and a half left until this blue zone starts to push in, and we're starting to see our scouts come out. Already 3 scouts that we've already been able to highlight so far in this game. It's going to be Ghost and Slime Squad, as well as, I believe that was also Safe Res. But, but other than that, Poro, pretty tame early game. Not really a lot of action popping out. So I got to ask you, new patch coming out last night. We've got weapon skins. What are you liking? Man. What are you liking? What do you hope to get? God. What do you what do you want to showcase?
Okay, so
we see a weapon skin right there. He's using the Scar skin. If
yeah. I mean, it's weapon skin. It's whatever. Like, get your what's the turquoise delight Car 98 is pulling in about 182 US right now. So I hope everybody gets one of those. And is able to get some money that way, but otherwise, I honestly don't care. Like I've been wearing the same outfit on my guy since pre-alpha. I don't know. I got nothing for it.
All right.
I mean, I'm sure it's cool. They're cool to look at, and that's fine. But I'm just like, I don't get into that much. I think what it really is that I spent so much money on skins in the league that I can't fall into that trap again.
Bad memories. Okay. Yeah, I understand. Totally understand. Looking now over at where's my monitor here in the Novo area, actually all alone, able to loot this up. They're going to be very looted coming out of here. Not exactly sure what player we're looking at here, but this is going to be where's my monitor. They've got a bit of a transition ahead of them, actually, Poro. I mean, all the way over in that southeastern corner of the map, going to have to transition across the longest part of the map over to that North Georgia Polish area. And they've got a few teams to go through as well. I mean, this late in the transition phase, a lot of these teams in the safe zone are going to have solidified a position.
Well, and that's the thing you got to kind of worry about now. As you see, Noble is even finding themselves transitioning in a point when they're getting shot at. So where's my monitor? Long way to go, coming in very late, but they are going to be coming in looted. Whereas the other side already, you could see a space station already in boats trying to make the long transition around the coastline. So I do like seeing some of these teams transitioning really early and putting themselves in these good positions. Like you can see Ghost holding down that bridge just to the east of George. That's a really good spot, and they kind of shot across at Microstar. Not sure any anything landing? No, they're just letting them know.
Yeah, McCoy's been actually taking a lot of shots here. He was connecting with some shots down onto Envious in the crates area, just to the east of those South Georgia Pole town buildings, but also taking some shots right there, as you saw at Microstar of Slime Squad. So, just putting out a lot of damage, trying to hold this compound for himself. His team is not with him yet, so this is likely going to be the area where they will be reuniting. It's a pretty centralized compound, and a good compound at that. You can see Energetic Turtle is actually Turtle rather is in the building as well. So two split for Ghost Gaming right now. Gonna be holding that down very solid. We've got Balik over here at the cube, right across the channel right there. Profi just a little bit separated as well up on the hill. So Ghost has a very solid grasp right now, Poro, on the centralized location of this circle, able to get a lot of information, kind of using this hill, this elevated area, to see if they can spot out some teams as well.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see if Ghost can keep up their fragging ways from land, as they were really, they were just going off. Balik and Turtle, the additions have been working out so well for them right now. And the addition of Balik as a shot caller, allowing Profi to really open up again and just focus only on shooting, has served as a huge boon for that team as well. So be interesting to see how that plays out. Yeah, let's see if somebody gets this one. It's not a bad crate. Well,
no,
14.
Hey, I love that crate, actually. Great gun. You got the 8x optic and the level 3 vest utility, but a double drop.
Friend.
Poro, this is actually interesting. This is a very convenient double drop right in the North Georgia Pole area. That is a very attractive location for a lot of these teams in this first safe zone of game number 1. Will this troll? Will it fall?
Okay.
It will fall.
Okay.
There it is. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
So yeah, we might see some fights erupt around this area. We were looking earlier at Exodus here in these apartments right on the eastern edge of this North Georgia Pole area, as well as Slime Squad and Ghost Gaming not too far away. So, a lot of teams sort of congregating towards this area.
Yeah, it looks like Exodus has eyes on a couple of members from Slime Squad. At least they know that they're there. So their attention is probably going to be fully devoted to making sure those boys to the east don't make their way across the street. So the doubt that they have these crates in mind, but both of those crates are going to be available for pickup here at some point. It looks like Noble actually transitioning towards George, but I think they're going for my favorite spot in this type of circle. Oh, Texas doesn't look like he's taking too much damage, but Profi's going to definitely let him know he's there. But yeah, I love this spot. The hills just above that little 3 stack of apartments right here is so strong. Depending on how the circle plays out, you don't want to. Obviously, you see circles that often include this North Georgia part, and you see oftentimes a lot of teams going into these apartments and taking these apartments because they end up having to transition late. But these hills kind of give you an overview of pretty much everything to the north, and you're able to kind of watch your back fairly safely if you have a 4-man. So I really like these hills. I really do.
Yeah, this circle in particular has so many strong areas that you can lock down early on, and that's sort of a double-edged sword, because with that fact in mind, it draws a lot of teams to those areas because they are so attractive, just like the cube where Ghost Gaming is locked down, as well as that North Georgia Pole area like you were talking about, those apartments and that hill as well. Just so many prime areas to get some sort of shots out. But as you can see right here, this is going to be Exodus getting some shots out right now. Is able to get the kill onto Tilt. So that's going to be an early kill coming out. Possibly, I believe, our second kill of the game, Poro. So, these transition kills are already starting. Second circle is out. Going to be pushing our teams even further to the northwest. So, a lot of transitioning happening. These teams are traveling quite a bit.
That was a weird kill. Well, this isn't the worst shift that this circle could have taken. You can already see a lot of teams already making their way north of the river, finding their way north of George, so they don't have to fall victim basically to these late transitions and having to crash into the middle of the city. But yeah, we can see Envy making their way across the river fairly safely. They are going to run right into Exodus here, so if Exodus is paying attention, Regency, got to have your eyes on this river. Doesn't look like he is, though. They're still caught up with Slime Squad, so Envy's just going to be able to crash this for free, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, some shots were erupting around this area, so certainly had Exodus's attention. But Caden getting very close to this apartment, possibly giving away his position with footsteps nearby. That's going to be the four-man squad of Envy rolling through these apartments areas. And I mean, I'm not exactly sure that Exodus is aware of their presence just yet. I mean, they're sort of still looting and a little bit spread out as if they own this area currently. Envious is still pushing around onto this this wall, trying to get some information, pretty much a death ball. But a huge battle erupting up here with Ghost Gaming and Noble. Shots coming out, Ballot getting down, trying to retreat off of this and get some cover. But McCoy and Turtle are pushed up while Profi is coming around on that right flank behind the rock, trying to get a drop on this Noble squad.
Well, this is a good flank by Profi, but the grenades already coming out, taking down McCoy as well. So Noble's going to be able to crash this. Profi needs to get up there and provide some amount of cover, but he's going to get taken down by Adaculus. Ooh, so close. So close. And I think Natural, who's the last remaining member of Ghost? Turtle. Turtle managed to get out of there. So very fortunate that Turtle was able to escape before the entirety of Ghost was wiped by Noble. But man, that was a rough transition for Ghost to the top of that hill.
Yeah, it certainly was. That was Ghost Gaming, who was previously locked down in that cube area on the northern side of the channel, and that was Noble, who actually came from the north onto that those hills right above the apartments that you were talking about, Poros. They ended up colliding, and Noble just came out of that with the W. I mean, Turtle able to get away, so he's going to be able to fight for placement for his team, which is sort of what they need. But being a solo player in these squad games is going to be difficult. He's going to totally have to readjust his strategy. As you can see now, Ronin trying to line up some shots with 8 times on that M416. Suppressed, takes one but does not connect. Ronin trying to just hold this this crashed plane site as much as possible. Texas, who was a little bit split from them earlier, has now reunited with them, so they are a 4-man squad in this area.
You can see that vision on set to destroy. You see United holding the northern part of that middle mountain range right there. Turtle's going to be able to get out. Let's see, I'm not sure where he's wanting to go, but as a solo player, you just kind of got to hope for the best at this point. So he's going to get out of the highly populated area. You know that the area that Noble is holding is most likely going to get a little bit more attention at some point, but Envy making their way to the apartments just to the south of that little that hill that we were talking about. So Hooligans, one man, I don't know if that's one player remaining or the only player that's made it to the breach so far. No, he's got friends in the apartment blocks in Georgia Pole.
He's also got friends right to the north of him on that cliff. I believe that's going to be a Space Station Gaming right above him. Vexel possibly getting a line of sight onto him. It looks like they might actually see him. He's jumping, so certainly maybe actually are they? I don't think they see him. I don't think they saw him, Poro.
They're looking at the coastline. I think they heard the boat pull up, but they didn't see the player get away. So, wow, he's going to get away with one there.
Hey, I mean, good for him. Good for him. I mean, that's very fortunate. If he watches the VOD, he's going to be very happy with how he was able to get out of that. But this next circle has now presented itself northern on the map. Going to be pushing a lot of these teams in the North Georgia Pole area. Ron Paul TV getting knocked out of the car while shots just raining out onto this US. It blows up, taking out these members of that team. That's going to be Rift, and the rest of, I believe, set to destroy Fignolo, just raining down shots onto that US. Just a deadly transition phase right now.
Oh dear, and Levi is going to be able to get out of there with just a sliver of health left, as E United is now going to get involved with Team 14, or actually Team 14 is E United. Team 14 getting involved with Set to Destroy. They managed to get the down onto one, but not before they lose one of their own. So they got to get behind this little ridge. He's going to try to get the res on Jimmer, while Set to Destroy is going to go and, I assume, try to get the res on VTV, but it looks like Rift might be wanting to be a little bit more aggressive. No, he's just going to go for the res.
Yeah, so Jimmer able to be rezzed. I mean, he's going to be low on HP, trying to see if he can get some bandages off. Vegas now retreating off of this, seeing if he can get some lines of sight onto this. But look at this. Ronin from the plane crash side is actually overwatching onto this and taking some shots right now onto Vegas. Not connecting yet, but I mean, also this North Georgia Pole area. What were we looking at earlier? They're going to have to transition out here, but this apartment's just lighting up as we see Envious take out Jutsu from Exodus and Caden connecting onto another member of Exodus. So Envious really just getting the drop onto this Exodus squad that they had previously come up to on that coastline apartment.
And I think that's going to do it for Exodus, as we just dropped down to 14 teams. I think that all of Exodus was in that apartment building. So Exodus going to go out a little bit early here. Not something that they wanted, as they were, if I remember right, they're kind of sitting in kind of a top spot now.
Yeah, certainly not the way that you want to start the night. So they're going to have to readjust their thinking, come back, strong in these last 3 games of the evening to try to make up for this early loss for them. But I mean, what can you say, Poro? With this circle, a lot of these teams are now going to start to get a bit congested on the southern edge of it.
Yeah, this is an absolute, like, when the circle shifted that hard to the north, it just kind of threw everything out of whack. And that's something that we've been seeing a lot lately in competitive PUBG, is these really, really hard shifts where it's just throwing everything all of whack, where the circle will just go to one extreme of the other side rather than try to be more centralized. And Ronan coming across Wildcard. Wildcard's already got 1 player down. Demai is going to have to get up.
Yeah, Ronan's still in this position that they've been holding at this plane crash site. Wildcard just passing by them in their rotation towards that northern part of the circle, but ended up just getting caught in that fire and getting down. Grenades now coming out, trying to connect to put some damage on the remaining members of Wildcard, and that's going to be it for them. They get taken out of the game. Texas with the final kill right there. Microstar now rolling through this valley, getting shot right now in the U.S. Or that's actually Wildcard right there to mine. Kickstarter taking some shots on him. Microstar in a very tough position, is going to be on this hill and gets down himself. It's going to be Kickstarter and actually getting down, while Noble's Godspeed getting a kill off screen. Also, Microstar ends up getting fully killed. So a lot of action now popping off as this blue zone is pushing these remaining players outside of the zone towards these edges.
MJO is going to have to transition right through Wildcard here if he wants to get out of the blue, and he's already going to take down Tumai. Kickstart should have vision on him. Ooh, gets a couple of shots into him, and now he's getting shot at from team number 3, which is, I believe, the new shoot to kill, but he's going to end up going down to the play zone. It just hurts too much. So Kickstart is going to be the last remaining member of Wildcard, it looks like, having to make his way. Is he going to try to go for the res actually here?
Yeah, it looks like he might be trying to go for the res, but Ronan actually spotting and hearing all of this action on the southern part of the circle, taking some shots. Also, I mean, look at this right now. He's just laying in the grass, watching this happen. This is going to be, I believe, Hooligans not able to hear or to see what player this is because of a spectate, but currently. But I mean, he's just pretty much biding his time, playing patiently, letting the squad pass because there's nothing that he can do right now. This player has essentially been able to evade two full squads now, Poro. I mean, earlier on the coast in North Georgia Pole, and now Envious just completely passes him by.
I also don't want to completely ignore the fact that Kickstart did not go back to try to res Tumai. He went back to punch Tumai to death so that he could then acquire his meds. So little friendly team killing there to make sure that they can set themselves up for the best possible late game, as Noble and Envy are getting very involved right now. Envy not wasting any time in trying to push up on this. Are they going to try to go for the res here on Boom? Yep, they are going to be able to get it off, but Envy is going to be right around the corner pushing this very, very hard. Godspeed already going to take a few shots, get taken super low. Caden trying to get the spray down, so Noble is very damaged right now. Boom goes down. The only one up with full health here is Natural, but it looks like they lost 1 player in the transition as well, or in the exchange as well. So Envy's going to pull back a little bit. Oh, they actually lose that player to another grenade. So Envy's taken down to 3 right now, and they're taking shots from everywhere.
Yeah, meanwhile, while Noble and Envy are engaged battle right here, I mean, they're sort of tunneled into each other. We've got Space Station Gaming directly to the northwest refereeing this fight, and that is going to be it for Envy, taken out by both fire from Noble as well as Space Station Gaming up to the northwest. And I mean, these circles just keep going north, Poro. I mean, it is not letting any of these teams really rest in their compounds or wherever they have sort of scouted out their locations earlier in the safe zone. So a lot of transition phases, which we know in these professional games are incredibly deadly and pretty much being showcased right now.
Yeah, shoot to kill, getting vision on a wild Kickstart as he tries to make his way into this next circle. The last remaining player of Wildcard. He does have the meds that he was able to loot off the body of Tumai that he created by killing his own teammate, PogChamp. But he's got a little bit of ways to go. He's going to have to push right through these last two remaining members of team number 2, which I do believe is Safe Res. Not 100% sure on that. But he's got a little transition to make here.
Yeah, not an easy road ahead of him, solo player with a lot of teams on that southern part of the circle. I mean, these northern transitions just really make that southern part of the circles get really packed.
Noble and Space Station Gaming are about to run across each other's paths here. You see Daculus taking the shots early, not getting anything to hit. But now, Space Station well aware of the fact that they've just been engaged upon. So, Noble going down, Godspeed going down, Natural going down. It's all down to a Daculus at this point. And that's going to do it for Noble. Great push by Space Station Gaming. I don't even think they even got shot.
No, pretty much able to just sit back and let Envious and Noble whittle each other down. But one thing to note, Turtle from Ghost Gaming, a solo player, once his 3 teammates got knocked out earlier in the match, is still alive. Shots now coming out, though. Steezy BB of Safe Res connecting on a World Destroyer and taking him out of the game. Halo connecting with another player of this squad. And this is Safe Res just absolutely going off. However, taking some damage in the process. Steezy BB gets knocked out of the game fully. He's going to be down while his teammates are up, and I think Alo might be the only remaining teammate of Safe Res up here in this Wizard Tower, trying to get some shots out on the kickstart. I mean, this is 3 teams. This is 3 teams right now, Boro.
This is insane. How did Steezy BB? Oh, Jamal Jr. That hurts. That sucks. But okay, so Uncivils, they don't have a long way to move for this next circle, but they've got to get this fight done soon, because you can see Team 14, E United, rapidly coming down their necks here. 3 members up. As soon as they reach this hill, crest this hill, they'll see Uncivils just hanging out here. So
yeah, and E United is moving fast. They're not wasting any time, as this blue zone will now be pushing in pretty much right now, actually. So if they continue to push down along this ridge, they will see them. However, if they go inside and are unaware of their presence, Uncivils and his teammate might have the opportunity that they need to get the res and get out of here. Vegas getting very close, though, to having some vision on what's happening down here.
This is the luckiest res that these guys will ever get. E United, for some reason, deciding to stop clearing their flanks at just the right time. It looks like Vegas actually going to come back now. I think he saw them.
Yeah, I mean, it's likely Vegas jumping advantage. Definitely heard some shots. I believe Kickstart and Alo might be engaged in some sort of a battle, kind of focusing away from Jamal and Uncivils. But Vegas is now certainly aware of all of these teams' presence. The shots are ringing out all over the map. 10 teams left, 22 players alive, as Shoot to Kill now has to move out of their, or no, I believe that's actually Ronin, has to move out of this compound. Texas and Coldamenta already opting to make that transition. Kraken and Duck still need to get in there.
And Vegas finally getting vision on Uncivils. Jamal Jr. He's going to spray it down, and just with the last sliver of health, he's going to manage to get the kill onto Uncivils. During all of that time, Alo was able to sneak his way out of that sniper tower and make his way into the zone. So he is lying just to the side of Kickstart. So these last 2 solo players just hiding around the corner. United looks like they might be trying to make their way down the side of the circle here, or just claiming the loot off of the remaining members of Shoot to Kill. Either way, these last two solo players have to be in a clinch moment right now.
Yeah, certainly an interesting way that this the southern edge of the circle.
Oh my
I mean,
God,
EU is in a very interesting position. They could get spoiled here by 2 solo players, Alo for Safe Res and Kickstart for Wildcard. Oh, and look at this, Vegas being very aggressive with the jump, gets stuck in the jump animation, and Alo is able to get the drop on him. Not before, though, he gets dropped himself. Yeah, EU's teammates are able to just come out and kind of clutch that up, and I believe they were able to do it. And actually, they didn't get the kill on Kickstart, so Kickstart able to just lay there like a snake in the grass, letting this all kind of erupt around him.
Yeah, Kickstart is okay for now, but he's going to be in a world of trouble whenever he has to move for this next circle. I think we also had a random solo player from Team 15 that had been playing Mermaid for a while. Spray finally made his way to the cliffside. Is he going to be able to get up, though? That's the question, as Team 5 is also holding down this northern part of the circle. Spray, I don't even know if he can physically get up that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can. Possibly with some vaulting and some clever climbing, he might have an opportunity. But it's going to be tough. It is certainly going to be tough. Ronan
fight's
now
going
spotting these teams here on the coast, taking some shots. It's going to be Texas connecting with the headshot onto Trevor and getting the down on him. Texas, though, taking a lot of shots in the process, down to about 20% HP, trying to get to this tree for some cover in the prone position, is able to get one of his first aids off, but he is in a very tough position. His team is just a little bit behind him, able to provide some support, but not much.
Yeah, Space Station holding court over the center of this circle right now. They're doing a really good job at trying to prevent these teams from making it in. Weren't able to get the down onto Texas, but now everybody else is aware of their presence. Ronan going to have to do a kind of a hard split trying to get in. You can see Duck trying to get whatever he can off of this north side before having to push in. The blue is about to get on top of him, and now he's got to move. Coldamenta already down as well.
Yeah, definitely. So one thing to note here is Space Station's position here in this circle. They're very close to dead center, actually. And Turtle is still actually lying right to the southwest of this squad, just letting all of this happen. He's not taking any shots. He's in that prone position right next to the tree, not moving, just, pretty much playing for his team's placement right now. It's amazing what he's been able to put together, actually, given the fact that they were probably one of the second or third to last teams. And these are going to be shots coming out. D-Master connecting onto the vehicle that Kickstart tried to transition into the circle with. It gets blown up, and Kickstart is taken out of the game. Last player for Wildcard.
Space Station is doing such a tremendous job of holding down this center of the circle, killing anybody who happens to try to come in. Looks like Spray is not going to be able to finish getting up that hill. He's going to go out, get his team to 4th place, though. That's a very good finish for them. So Energetic Turtle, Texas, the last 2 remaining solo players against the 4-man of Space Station. How do you think this is going to play out?
Well, I mean, it pretty much plays out like this. Which player does Space Station engage on first? I mean, does Turtle take shots at them, or does Texas take shots at them, or does Space Station end up getting the drop on one of them? I mean, there are 3 different scenarios, I guess you could look at it, and all 3 have different, I guess, turnouts. It looks like they're pushing very aggressively. Vexel almost to the tree where Texas is. Texas trying to get some shots up, but Vexel gets the drop on him with the headshot on the Scar. So just a 1v4 situation right now. Ghost Gaming able to stretch that 1 player remaining all the way to at least 2nd place. So, Turtle's got a tough road ahead of him if he wants to get this first place finish. But what do you think, Poro? What do you think?
Definitely not how Ghost is used to placing high in games, but they will definitely take it. I think the thing that saved Turtle, I think, there was that Space Station knew where that last remaining player of Ronan was from before when they were trying to transition him in. So they knew that there was one guy right by the tree, but nobody knew where Turtle is. Turtle just holding it down, just making himself as slim and slender as possible, even though he's still got his backpack on. He's just making himself very sneaky. I don't think he's going to manage to get into this circle without the boys from Space Station finding him, but gotta give credit where credit is due. Space Station has held this northern part of the circle for quite some time now, and I don't know how many kills they've racked up, but I've got to believe it's a pretty good amount.
Yeah, and not a lot of cover for them to work with either. I mean, 16 kills. I mean, it's absolutely insane. So the points that they're going to rack up from kills and placement here in this game are just absolutely insane. Smurf getting the spot on the Turtle takes him out of the game, securing a 1st place finish for Space Station Gaming. Absolutely incredible. 17 kills, Poro.
17 kills coming out of Space Station. A really, really good return to form after what might be considered a little bit of a underwhelming performance at LAN. But they are once again back here showing why they are one of the best teams in North America. Coming in 1st place, Ghost coming in 2nd with a rare 0-kill performance from them, followed by Ronan, who has been on fire lately, and team number 4, MJO Microstar Spray. Spray managing to get that 4th place finish by just staying alive, man. Staying alive. That's all we got to worry about. And then Healthy Elf, Tilde Trevor, and Mr. Unknown coming in 5th. So some very low kill top 5 here. Outside of our number
Space
1.
Station Gaming got all of them.
Space Station took them all. Well, guys, we're going to take you to the analyst desk to talk about this first game of the last day of North American PUBG Online. Split 1.
Thank you very much, Poro and Esquire. Game number 1 ends, and it's Space Station Gaming looking good out there. 17 kills. Running back here with Mustache Dave and Optic 17. All right, so unlike EU, this is not what happened in EU at all. The teams that are trying to push into a spot placed very well. Ronin, Slime Squad, Ghost. Ghost was second, Ronin was third, Slime Squad was fourth. And those are 3 of the 4 teams we talked about that were kind of pushing in here. So they're starting off on a good front. But Space Station Gaming, it's wild stuff. It's just explosive. Now, Tanner, 17, sorry. I'm going to try not to call you Tanner.
No worries, no worries.
I apologize. For you, your team that drops North Georgia Bowl, right?
We are indeed.
We saw Exodus there. I want to talk about that first because that was early in the game, Exodus. Is it something that you need to move out? Or do you need to leave the city for your team? Is that a decision that you make that you think that if the zone is North George, if it's in that area and it has those compounds around it, do you need to get out of the city before other teams pull up and start taking compounds?
Yes.
Okay, that's a
Yeah,
simple,
you need
plain
to.
answer.
Yeah, you need to.
No, I like it.
I mean, ideally, what we would have done there, probably, I hope we would have made the right decision, is to take that middle mountain range.
Sure.
That we saw Noble at the end of. It runs down to a couple different towers along the way, but definitely just get up there and get some vision on where other teams are playing, and just be ready to make a second rotation. You know, the first circle doesn't mean much. It's all about getting towards the third and fourth circles.
Sure.
And so, yeah, definitely got to leave the city. I'm assuming that because SafeRes was there, Envious didn't get vehicles or didn't feel safe rotating with vehicles. They end up swimming through. Kind of unfortunate for them that they got stuck without vehicles, it seemed, at least for quite a while. And we saw them go out early, which was definitely big to see. Disappointing if you're an Envious fan. But, yeah, getting out of the city is definitely important early.
Okay. Now,
14th.
Dave.
Yeah, they went out 14th place.
Yeah, 14th for Envious. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. What are you taking away here, Dave, after game 1? Space Station Gaming, obviously 17 kills. They're already secured top 16.
Right.
And they
Especially
feel
after this
great
game.
now. Yeah, especially after this game, grabbing one with 17 kills. So you see Ghost, you see Ronin, you see Slime Squad. They all place well, not many kills. Ghost didn't even have any. What do you take away from this with having Envious so low in their placement? How is this going to
Ghost,
affect it?
their ability to take a bad situation and just come in with that second place finish is just amazing.
Turtle got like 5 straight circles. Like, that was just a dream for Turtle.
Yeah, it was.
Here we go. Replay. Here's your Envy boys right here. Fragging out of their minds right now. I believe they do go down here to Noble. Noble, though, taking out two different
they wipe
squads.
Noble here, right? And then
they wipe
SSG
Noble.
gets third parties them. I think this is where SSG really started rolling here.
You see them. They're shooting down from the north there. Taking these guys out. I mean, just very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. That replay threw me off, but
Noble actually getting 13th. It was Envious getting 14th, so Envy was not the one getting the full kill.
And Noble, I mean, they're on fire. They're on fire as well. I mean,
SSG, they pushed through the Envy first, then Noble. They wiped most of Where's My Monitor, I believe, coming off the rocks there from the north, and definitely Ronin, which was the last team that had quite a few players alive, and then finishing Turtle. So at least 5 different teams they killed there. Could have been 6. I don't know who that unknown from Hooligans was, but he just seemed to evade every team. They just thought he was a ghost or something. I know he got by SSG and Envy.
unknown killed unknown.
Crazy.
Couple times this
unknown
game.
killed unknown a couple times this game. So first of all, I actually do want to say something about the unknown bug because a lot of people ask in chat every time it pops up. So basically what happens is we have no control over it. It's just a bug in the game where players will be listed as unknown. Luckily for us, we are organized enough most of the time, teams, hint, hint, to get into specifically numbered teams in the game, so we know who is who, regardless of whether or not you have unknown. The only thing this kind of hurts us with is knowing who's getting the kills sometimes, if it's more than one player on a squad that is listed as unknown. That last game, actually, all of Hooligans was unknown, so none of their names actually shown. But it's one of those things where we want to play the game. You could still play the game, and we don't want to delay it or restart it based on the unknowns, because we've been getting them all day. Everybody's been getting them all day.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that we've really – it's just something with the patch last night. So –
all right, can I talk about something? I mean, just real quick.
Ask away.
Crucial play, in my opinion, because I'm going to be talking about him all night long. Wild card, getting 6th place there. That's the 40 points, 2 kills, 6 points. Minus, 254. All right, that's all they need. 254 points to get first place. 17, I see you sweating over there.
Yeah, I'm sweating.
Hold up. My question for you, though, how important was that? I mean, we saw him kind of get murdered on the way, just transitioning. And then we had Kickstart all by himself. How important was that safe res, shoot to kill fight that kind of happened right there? I mean, it allowed Kickstart to kind of walk his way in. He even got 2 frags off of it.
Yeah,
Actually, United came down as well and third-partied them. So, I mean, how crucial was that for Kickstart in particular to make his way up there?
Dave. It was huge. Kickstart played it really well. He was able to pull out 6th. And that's one of those moments where, just like Turtle did, you're just salvaging at that point. You know that you're probably not going to win the game, and you're just trying to snake your way in. Obviously, we see it a lot, but he had a very interesting dynamic there. Kickstart, he was put in a rough position where he saw Safe Res getting in a fight with a couple knocks from Safe Res, and he stuck his head out to try and help the other team kill Safe Res. I'm assuming him and the team immediately acknowledged that it was Safe Res. They're the team that's also competing for that first and second spot, and he took some shots at him. So that was really it's one of those moments where, as a player, you're like, well, I can play and take out one of our opponents that is a big threat, but I might get taken out, or I can play and try and snake my way in. So interesting to see him get put in a rough position. Obviously, he played it great, probably as best as he could. He was able to take 2 kills there, clean up kills, and sneak his way in. So I just want to point out that for me, the best part to watch there was one player, Kickstart, from Wildcard, and one player, I believe it's Alo, from Safe Res. Yeah. And they were just virtually like 20 meters from each other, just both in the grass, and that was really cool to see, and to kind of just sweat out, who's going to make it longer. So that was definitely cool to watch the southwest part of the circle there.
Now, would you have taken that vehicle, though, that we saw Kickstart do at the very end? Oh, there you go. Jumping, taking the shot. What was going on there? I don't know. Here's Kickstart actually taking the vehicle as we see him trying to transition to the zone, just being, a target
you
for everybody.
gotta go for it. At a certain point,
Really
you just
not much
gotta
of an
go.
option for him.
He couldn't have snaked in there. I mean, in your opinion, you're a snake pro. So I mean,
I am a snake pro.
He
couldn't. He didn't have any meds, right? He might have had like bandages and first aids, but he didn't have any stimulants. And I'm assuming, the only other thing is throwing smokes, and that draws attention, taking a vehicle. Right. There's really nothing he could do there. The only way he could have done that better is if he would have been able to find a moment to time it right to where the teams were in combat. That's the only other option, but he did what he could. He got 6th out of it, and that's once you lose 3 players that early, 6 is a win. 6 is a win.
Definitely. And 2 kills. So, I mean, I commend them. But talking about the MVP, I got to say it's Turtle, Energetic Turtle from Ghost. I mean, they're definitely on the grind. They want to make it. They want to make it.
That's a
the top
huge
6.
first game for them.
That's
huge first game.
Huge.
Here, I'll get the numbers while you guys.
Yeah, you get the numbers.
But
yeah,
Ghost...
for Turtle to move there. I'm sorry, I thought you were doing
no,
math.
no,
he's getting the numbers.
I'm doing maths.
Yeah. For Ghost to get 3 of their members wiped there, by Noble up on that top of that hill
very early.
For Turtle he took off and he just immediately ran north. And which is what you have to do. You have to make the move early. That's a move you want to make as early as you can in the circles to get centralized, because it's one move. You're making one swift move, getting there, and giving yourself a better chance to get the circle later, versus making short moves and just getting on the edge and then having to move again, more chances to get spotted. So he played it perfect. Obviously wouldn't expect anything less than Turtle. Freaking tremendous player. So and they got the circle luck, which, right, like the reason he got the circle luck is because he put himself in the best position to get it. So props to him, and yeah, 2nd is huge, especially when you're looking to make that top 16.
So Ghost needed 120. This does not guarantee the metric because the teams playing tonight can still pass them, but to catch the 16th ranked team overall right now, Ghost is now only 40 points away after that last game, even with 0 kills. So they got 80 points out of that game. They jump all the way up. They're very close. They're only 40 points away from breaking into that top 16. Then they just have to defend it from the teams playing here today. Now, 45 seconds in, guys, we talked about those teams. Have your opinions changed? Has any team jumped out to you? Are you worried about Envious here with the 14th after that? Dave?
No, go to 17. I'm not worried. I'm feeling good.
We'll know a lot more after this game. The halfway point is huge. Definitely eyes on Envious. A little bit less of eyes on Ghost now. They're in a good position. They just need to have a couple more games. But I'm still watching Wildcard, and I'm still watching Safe Res. So Those are the three that I'll have my eye on: Envious, Safe Res, and Wildcard.
I mean, I'm thinking Ronin. I'm thinking Ronin now, actually. Actually, now that you say that, Jabroni, I'm thinking Ronin.
All right.
Place.
Keep your eyes on him
Ronin.
as we enter game number 2 right now with Esquire and Porosaurus.
And we're back for game 2 of the night. You can see the plane coming in from the north, a nice little drop path, providing, going to open up a lot of this map, except for maybe the far, far, far west coast, but not a bad start to the night with that first game there, Esquire. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, a pretty high action game, Poor. I mean, Space Station Gaming coming in with 17 kills, absolutely insane, setting the pace for the games tonight. So I expect game 2 to be true to form and be that good or better. But yeah, the plane coming out from the north gave us a little bit of a mix-up from that first game also. So we're going to see a different angle here. So possibly some different drops as well, given the fact that it's a little bit differently split, and that West Coast is a little bit further, like you said. But yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Severny might actually get a little action early as team number 3 and team number 6 shoot to kill, and Noble dropping right on top of each other, but it looks like shoot to kill is just going to go ahead and try to get vehicles and get out of dodge. I'm not sure, actually. I don't know if they have the option. Ooh, Dacula's getting taken very, very low. He wanted to peek with that Tommy gun, but he has no helmet, no armor, so every shot is going to hurt.
Yeah, Daculus actually got maybe 1 or 2 shots to connect with Uncivils with that Tommy gun, but took a lot of return and taken down, like you said, very, very low. They are now transitioning out with 2 vehicles from Severny, so that's going to be a little bit difficult now for Noble. Pretty much left in Severny with no vehicles nearby.
Definitely going to be well, depending on where the circle goes, it's going to be a rough transition phase for Team Noble as they now are left with no vehicles, but... And there's our first, it's not too bad. They are going to have to loot very quickly and try to find themselves some vehicles pretty soon, just to make sure that they don't end up having to chase the blue. But they should be all right, as we see the bridge area actually getting a little bit populated as well here.
Yeah, certainly. So with that circle portal coming out on the East Coast, a few of these teams were starting to stretch towards that West Coast area, trying to lock down some of these more attractive compounds on the map that just so happen to be on the western side of it. So I think maybe now seeing the transition that they're going to have to make and how many teams dropped out of that plane path that pretty much favored the East Coast, I mean, they're going to have to be very careful. A lot of collisions might happen as these teams will have to transition towards this western edge of this circle. We do have a few teams that are going to be pretty much looting up to their heart's content. It's going to be Ronin up there and Yasnaya Polyana cracking, looting these priority buildings right here. These double stack buildings are just amazing for the loot pour. You like them?
Oh yeah. You can't. I mean, anytime you drop in any city, these little duplexes, little 2-story doubles, are always going to have some very, very nice loot, and you can loot them very quickly. So they're all. I mean, they call them priorities for a reason, right? You drop on them. That's the ones you want to drop on, because 9 times out of 10 they will have at least a weapon that you can fight with. Usually have a little bit more than that too. So. Actually kind of surprised to see Ronin and Yasnaya. I wonder if this is an adjustment they've made just because of the lobby today. They usually kind of tend to favor Lipovka area, but they're doing all right for themselves in Yas today. Yeah,
they certainly are. They have really no players contesting their loot area, so able to very much get that spread going. You see the Kraken, Coldamenta, or Duck Intex is very, very separated up there in that Yasnaya area. But already a few teams starting to transition. We see Jamal and the rest of his team up there, just a little bit north, a little bit southeast of the Stalber area. Maybe going to Kameshki. I'm not really sure if they're actually going to go there. We don't see a lot of teams usually go to this Kameshki area, but it looks like Jamal is going to go towards these buildings a little bit to the south of Kameshki and loot them up. Not a bad area to loot.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not the best, but considering they originally dropped in Severny and were able to steal these vehicles from Noble and had to make their way around trying to find just anywhere to loot. I don't think Jamal has any loot at all. He might have something maybe that he can grab from the church. But yeah, you can see he's completely dry right now. So they're gonna have, at least they'll have a little bit of time to make their way around all these buildings to the north side fairly safely. You can see the rest of his teammates looting up at Stalber. Nobody really starting their hard transitions just yet. You can see Noble looks like they found at least one vehicle. Exodus looting up North George. Envy opting instead of their normal South George, going for Razak and Watertown here a little bit, looks like. So they're actually going to be able to transition fairly easily and have a lot of time to loot.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, one thing to note actually here, Poro, if we look at the map, Wildcard went all the way to Primorsk. They went to Primorsk the first game, and they were still pretty much parachuting when this circle came out, and they still made the decision to go to Primorsk. So they know that they're going to have to transition quite a bit of way to actually get to the safe zone, and they know that there are actually a lot of teams in between them and the safe zone. So they're going to get fairly looted. They're going to have the tools that they need to fight, but if they get in an unfortunate situation, it might not be the best for them. But what do you think about this? I mean, what do you think about dropping in these towns where they're so obviously out of the first safe zone, but so comfortable for these teams in terms of they like to drop here?
Yeah, well, it's the age-old question. Do you prefer to get into circle and get into the safe zone and loot then, or do you just prefer to loot up late and then transition late? Wildcard, they're a good team. They have good transition, good rotation patterns. I think that they hope here is that they just are able to find enough loot, find enough meds in particular to be able to get themselves into vehicles and then do a long transition, maybe tank the blue a little bit, but not have to come through from the south. I would imagine you'll see them transition a little bit farther north. I don't think you're going to see them stick to the southern coast here.
Yeah, I think that southern coast, like you were just mentioning, might be a little transition phase. Will be starting here in about 10 seconds. Blue zone will be coming out very, very shortly. But another thing to look at is Exodus all the way up in North Georgia Pole. They're going to have quite a transition ahead of them as well. Another team that pretty much was parachuting, saw the circle and still opted to go towards that comfortable loot location. And they are spread out, going to be incredibly looted. But we do have a lot of teams now heading into the circle. This is going to be actually a crate landing in the water. I don't think anyone is going to be getting this. Not an attractive crate. Wouldn't be happy if I risked it. Trevor though coming up with the is he in? Yeah, he's in the boat, not on the aqua rail, but I don't think he's gonna opt for this crate.
Well, I too like to drive by completely free crates, but he's wanting to. I think this is Team 5. This is Where's My Monitor. I think they're opting instead to try to get that circle position. They want to get somewhere safe as quickly as possible. So instead of trying to stop for that crate, which, to be honest, if he had stopped for it, he'd probably be pretty pissed about it. He's just going to go ahead and try to get into a position where they can hold. Let's see where he's going to go, though. As the circle is now starting to move in, you can see the blue starting to pressure in. Our boys in Exodus finally making their way out of Georgia Pole. Ghost has already transitioned from Pachinki, now going towards the bunker area where they're going to hold that down, and see Team Green, Team Unknown, Slime Squad, I believe, that is making their way just to their south. So all teams look like they're managing to make it into. Oh no!
Oh no! This is not what you want to happen. I mean, it certainly does happen in these games, but a few things to take note of here when you see these when you see these things happen. It does.
Happens to the best. It happened to FaZe earlier today, and it was a much later circle than this. So things happen. They've got meds. It'll be fine. No damage to the armor there, but probably happy that he's unknown listed on there, so we don't get to call him out for who he is. And you see, actually, Turtle has a serious shot right here from Envy, which is doing a really good Warehouse Alamo split, which I love this. I love this split when it comes to the circles like these, just because it provides for multiple angles of fire in situations just like this.
Yeah, Envious was previously engaged in a firefight with Ronin a little bit to the north. But Ghost transitioned, and that was Turtle getting a little bit separated from his squad, taking a lot of fire. Check Shooter taking down very low himself, going to be popping some bandages to get up. This is going to be Envious in a 2-2 split currently, a little bit to the west of the centralized location of the circle. But Ghost now extremely split. Profi taking shots from both squads. It's going to be Ronin and Envious trying to connect some shots on the Profi as he ends up reuniting with Turtle. So, they've got 2 players there for the support team, but the other 2 remaining players of Ghost are very separated. Profi picking up Turtle, saying, hey, let's go. Let's get back together with our team. We have got a game to play. We got a placement to get. We're not going out early this time.
Looks like Noble actually engaging in a fight with E United here from range. Noble already have 1 player down. But look at this, from long range too here. Team 14, E United, just putting some really good shots in. And Noble's actually going to lose a player off of this. Boom's going to go down. So Noble not in the best of spots early on. It's going to be something that they're going to have to recover from. But E United, you can see now 4-man strong. Geis has managed to make it into the game, which everybody's got to be happy for. The game's always good with a little G-Ice in it.
Yeah, that's right. Balak actually ending up securing a compound just to the southwest of where E United was taking shots. So it's looking like the rest of Ghost is going to go to this compound. These are going to be the yellow houses, fairly centralized location given where the circle is, and not a bad location either, Poro. I mean, it's certainly a strong compound. Given where the circle is ending up, and they've got the vehicles as well if they need to transition or use them as cover. But shots, as you can hear, erupting all around them as EU has spotted Ghost Gaming down at this compound. Turtle taking a lot of damage, about 15% HP, gets the cover behind the house. They're going to be trying to get some meds off, but EU is just trying to do whatever they can to disable this Ghost Gaming squad down here, shooting at the vehicles and trying to connect on these players.
So that was a really dangerous but a really smart play by Profi. Once they started getting shot at from E United from the top, Profi taking the risk to get back into the vehicle and move the vehicle around to a different location where the tires couldn't be shot out on it. Obviously a very high risk play, but they know that if they lose their vehicles while they're there at this particular location, at these yellows, they're going to be in a lot of trouble come late game if they have to move. So very, very smart play on their part. Let's see, we got Wildcard is just now making it into circle after their long trip from the southwest, and MJO right behind them. The new circle, not a hard swing. This is a good swing. So this is right about as center as you could want to get on this next circle. So not a lot of teams are going to have to move, but you can see everybody already has a good idea of where everyone else is around them, and they're just trading shots back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much 90% of the remaining lobby not having to make a transition, already having secured a location or compound inside of the safe zone. So, and like you said, Poro, a lot of these squads are engaged in battles, and that will only continue as they don't have to move and can just continue to sort of tunnel into each other, but need to be very, very aware of their flanks, as some other squads might be trying to make some transitions to more favorable compounds. World Destroyer with the 4 times in the Car 98 trying to spot out any of these members of Noble who have been riding the coast and taking a lot of fire from multiple squads.
Yeah, it seems like Noble, while that's a great position to hold, I love that spot right there on the edge. It looks like everybody on the server knows exactly where they are right now, because they're just getting shot from every angle, and all they can do now is just kind of hold these rocks, hold these angles, and not peek too hard. They don't want to lose too much armor, too many helmets before having to move again. They still have all the wheels on that buggy, it looks like, so they will be able to move once time calls for it, but it's going to be rough. Ooh, look at actually an aggressive play here by Uncivils and the rest of Shoot to Kill here. They're pushing right up onto these guys. So now Noble
pushing up.
A pretty good spot for this fight.
Yeah, and Noble, who has been riding the coast, didn't occupy these buildings, and that's where one of Shoot to Kill's teammates ended up pretty much bombing Uncivils, securing that compound. So he split. It's pretty much a 3-1 split for Shoot to Kill right there. So need to be a little bit careful, but they have got Noble pretty much pinned down. Noble's not going anywhere with the sights of Shoot to Kill onto them. But look at this. Also, Ghost Gaming now still engaged in this fight with EU. EU United still up there on the hill, trying to get some angles down there. Profi returning fire, but taking some shots as well.
The United is definitely causing problems for teams all around them right now with that very strong position on the top of the hill. They have vision on pretty much everything around them. They're taking. You saw them earlier taking shots at Noble. Now taking shots at Ghost. This is a really good position. The only thing they got to be concerned about is once it comes time to move, once it comes time to transition, everybody's going to know where they are or where they're going to have to come from, because they have been just laying down the fire for a while now.
Yeah, an incredibly advantageous position for them to be in. I mean, if they get the circle port, if they get the circle maybe 2 times in a row here after this, they're in a very good position to win the game given that compound, if they continue to play well and get the frags, and you know, nothing unfortunate happens for them. But wildcard here, transitioning all the way out of that Primorsk area, has a very favorable garage building right to the northwest of Milta. 4 strong, going to be trying to actually playing this pretty aggressively now, splitting up a little bit, trying to push up onto this hill near the lumber yard. Very close, however, to this hooligan squad.
And for better or worse, kills are the name of the game. They can hear the shots coming down. They hooligans have vision on at least one member of wildcard right now. Don't think they have vision on the flanker, though. This Microfy is going to go ahead and just pull off of this. Looks like hooligans are going to try to reconnect and just take the stronger location of this sniper tower as Tumai just crests that hill and trying to get people, anyone he can, in his vision.
Yeah, playing this a little bit slower now, possibly aware of a team's presence up here, trying to get some information for his team as well. But, you know, not too much happening right here. It doesn't look like they are aware of each other's presence, but you know, hooligans here in a 2-2 split right now in 2 different sniper towers. And look at this, Tumai now aiming in with the 8 times on the M416 into that 2nd story window, not able to get any shots out, but just getting this information, kind of soaking it in and providing it to the rest of his team as the blue zone is now approaching the previous circle and is going to push our players in towards the west of that previous circle. So these teams who have been riding the East Coast are going to have to transition in, as we already see Ronan, Texas, and Coldamenta pushing towards the center of the circle. McCoy, split away from the rest of Ghost, is taking some shots, but trying to play this a little bit safe as he is, you know, pretty far from any sort of support.
He's got a really nice defilade to hold there, but you know, he can't peek it too hard, because if he goes down, he's got no help coming. And you can see E United also, from their advantageous position that they were in a little bit earlier, have already elected to transition out of it. So McCoy holding down this dip. Maybe his team is going to come join him here soon. I'm not sure. He is pretty much as centered as he could possibly get. You can see the rest of E United managing to make their way out and get to that garage building just on the southeastern corner of Mansion. But Coldamenta, Ronan, these guys are very, very close to McCoy. So McCoy's going to have to rely on his team to give him a little bit of cover here.
One thing to note about McCoy's position, given this circle, we saw Tempo Storm a few weeks ago with a very similar circle take that position in that little divot right there and perform excellently, getting tons of kills all around the map. But yeah, as you see, Coldamenta ended up getting connected on by that Ghost squad in that 3-1 split. Currently, McCoy a little bit to the west of the rest of his team. That's going to be Profi, Turtle, and yeah, I believe Balak over there in the Yellow House is just taking some shots right now. So, you know, pretty much providing that support that McCoy needed to continue to hold that position with those 2 members of Ronan pushing up onto his eastern side.
Envy still in a really good position too, with their Alamo Warehouse split. You can see Team 1 here, Hooligans, taking some pressure from Set to Destroy. Is Set to Destroy pushing up on this? This is a really aggressive push considering how much vision that Team 1 should have over them. I'm surprised that they let them get this close, but Jamal Jr. also taking out some noble Godspeed process. Team 1 Hooligans, I'm not sure what they can do here. Set to Destroy, he's managed to get right up on them, already get 1 down. That's 2. The last 2 remaining are going to be in the top floor. It's only going to be a couple of grenades before these guys are flushed out. But now taking fire from farther away from another team. I'm not sure who that is shooting at them.
Yeah, Microfry and his teammate essentially pinned down here on the 2nd floor of this building as Set to Destroy, just completely swarming this sniper tower. I mean, there's no way for them. They're throwing nades. They've got these angles pinned down. Microfry at about 50% HP. Ooh. No helmet. Grenades getting very close, but this wall providing the protection that these remaining members of Hooligans need to survive. Shots already ringing out, though, as the door is open. Fignaldo is getting the angles that he needs, and that grenade comes out clutch and is able to put out the damage that is needed to take out the remaining members of Hooligans.
That is going to do it for Team Hooligan. Set to Destroy needed to finish this fight quickly. They are already, you can see they're taking shots from Envy from a distance, but they needed to get that fight finished so they could get some amount of cover. And you can see, look at this north side of the circle. Esquire, this is going to pop off really, really soon. You can see the woods just to the north of Mansion are very populated. Exodus is there, Shoot to Kill is there, and you also have United holding down the garage building just to the southeast. So if this circle transitions off of this area and to the south, this is going to be a very violent northern end.
Yeah, it certainly will be. And I mean, 14 teams remaining, 50 players alive, with so many teams very nearby to one another and having been engaged in battles with one another for the last 10 or so minutes, given the fact that, you know, a lot of these teams didn't have the transition for us. So it's going to be an absolute bloodbath now that these teams are actually going to have to push out from these positions that they've been holding, but they're known positions. So teams have their eyes on them.
Yeah, this is actually not the worst circle. This could have shifted a lot harder and a lot worse for those northern teams. But now the teams on the southern end, you can see Team 13, Space Station Gaming, making their way around. They come across a sniper tower. You always assume that somebody's in there. And in this case, they are correct, as Microstar and Spray are holding this down. Shots into Microstar early. He's getting taken very, very low. He's going to open the door. Vexel, not even going to waste time, going to go in and take that kill, while Spray just holds down the top. Maybe they won't come. Maybe they won't come. Maybe they won't. Who knows?
Cooking the nade, getting ready for it. Throws it out. Will it be able to put out the damage need? Shots are coming up all into the walls. He's trying to hide in this little, providing him a little bit of cover, but it's not going to be long before Vexel pushes aggressively up here, and he's hanging out just outside on the stairs. The door's going to get shot out, and Spray's going to take about 60% damage, and a grenade from D-Master is going to end up getting the final kill on the Spray.
Very, very confident push there from Space Station, and you can see team number 2, SafeRez, was hanging out just to the north, or just to the northeast of them, but they heard the shots, and instead of electing to push that, they decided to go ahead and move forward position. So Space Station is going to be able to collect the fruits of their labor, but now SafeRez in a very, very dangerous spot as Drassel already gets down by Healthy Elf. Where's My Monitor is coming out of the worst of this fight. Unknown, the last remaining player is going to try to jump out of this window. I'm guessing going to try to go for a res here on the edge of the wall, but SafeRez decides to push this, which they absolutely should. These guys aren't going to be very long for this world.
No, yeah, not at all. Healthy Elf very close to getting picked up. That smoke providing a little bit of cover, but Steezy BB around on the eastern flank. He's going to try to get some advantage. That's still providing the pretty much the clutch cover that they needed to survive. Tilled inside. You know, he's got his teammates. Alo pushing up outside the building. He's going to be trying to connect with some shots inside, using the windows to get some sort of advantage. Steezy coming around on the other edge, getting around that smoke. Now able to spot out these members, gets the final kill, and that's going to be it. That's going to be SafeRez completely wiping out Where's My Monitor and effectively pushing this compound, securing it. It's going to be a great pickup for them.
They do manage to lose one player in the transition, but ending up coming out with clean 3 kills. You can see now the northern end of this circle is starting to really pop off as all the teams from the forest are forced to move into the mansion area. Guys holding down this angle. You can see members from Shoot to Kill roaming around in the top floor of that garage building inside the compound as Team 8, Exodus, starts to make their way around. It looks like they're actually going to leave. Oh, yep, that's not gonna do it. Bad luck transitions coming out of there. So they have one remaining member for Team Exodus, has managed to make it to the double buildings just to the south west of Mansion, but there's still a lot of fighting left to be done in this area.
Yeah, certainly absolute chaos in this mansion area, as there are 3 teams really tightly packed here and already engaged. Exodus being very down in terms of what they are working with. One remaining player alive, trying to see if he is able to get some information here. He's not going to be able to get Regency up safely with all of these players looking around at him. Giants getting knocked down. Fignaldo actually knocked off map as well. And look at this circle. No compounds are going to be inside of the circle. Maybe a little bit on the west. They've got a wall to work with. But I mean, shots just raining out all over the place for them.
That is another team wipe there from Space Station. They end up losing, getting 2 down during that fight, but still another great push onto one of these sniper towers. You can see Alo taking the long-range shots at Ghost, who are trying to reconnect with McCoy. McCoy has managed to go down, but the rest of the couple of members of Ghost still up. They were able to finish off those last 2 remaining players. I can't remember from which team were hiding out in the shack, but Ghost have probably pretty much preference on this circle right now. They're the only team that's really in the center of it.
Yeah, but one thing to note, Paul, they don't have a lot of cover to work with, and that smoke coming out is going to alert a lot of these teams that have to transition of their presence. I mean, we've got 5 teams pretty much up on this northern side that have to transition into this next circle to the south, and it is going to be an absolute bloodbath over there as Alo gets knocked down off screen. Hey, that's going to be a tough down. He ends up getting headshot and killed as his teammate is trying to get some shots down onto Ghost's Balak. But, I mean, Safe needs to be careful. They've got Smoke and Aces directly to the west of them, and then Space Station Gaming to the west of that. And Space Station Gaming has just been fragging out this game as well.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of moving to do as they are now transitioning right into Smoke and Aces. Smoke and Aces trying to get their downed member up, but it looks like Unknown has managed to make it into circle and go prone, but only just barely. As Team 7, Smoke and Aces now has to try to push in. You can see Wildcard now engaging with Envy from range. Envy holding down the last little bit of this wall at Alamo, which is still going to be in this next circle. They paid for it, though. It looks like they have to get a res there on a down player.
Yeah, Wildcard now engaging onto, I believe that's Space Station Gaming. Space Station Gaming being taken out of the game, and then our teams in the north are now transitioning down to the south. Exodus trying to take some shots and be gatekeeper to set to destroy, trying to come down in here from the north. Jamal Jr. getting knocked down. Uncivils and his teammate now trying to see if they can do anything. Exodus being spotted out, and a headshot coming out of the Car 98 from Uncivils connects on the Regency, and that's going to be a squad wipe.
The headshot Car 98, always an exclamation point on a team wipe. As you can see, Ronan, Duck, and +1 Kraken trying to make their way into the middle of the circle as with the vehicle. Looks like they've managed to do so, but not without being spotted out as Uncivils lands the Kobe from range. He's got to be feeling good about that one. Uncivils on an absolute tear right now with 2 kills. Shoot to kill, wrapping up 8 kills altogether so far. But how are they situated here? How do you think they're situated for this next circle? Oh, and it shifts far away from them, so they've got some moving to do.
Yeah, I mean, a huge nade coming out from Uncivil's Ronin squad. Not much that Kraken can do right now. His teammate pretty much stuck behind the tree, and that next circle is, continuing to push these teams out of their previous positions. I mean, no place is safe. There's going to be no compounds there, so it's going to be all trees and all car compounds for any sort of cover inside of the next safe zone. Uncivil's taking a lot of shots, taking out about 40% HP, but returning fire onto this Ronin squad. A lot happening up here in the north.
A lot of teams remaining, 5 teams remaining, a lot of them with 2 players. I think Envy has the man advantage right now. I think if I'm not wrong, I think they're currently sitting at 3. Yeah, so we got 3. Actually, Wildcard having 4 up as well, even though 1 is currently down. But everybody's going to have to move. Everybody's having to transition. Ghost still holding this really good defilade right here. Balak making short work of Tumai, getting the finish of the kill off. So this definitely, though, not in the next circle. They are going to have to move, and they are going to be exposed. You see Envy starting to make their way in vehicles. They are spotted out by a wild card. The shots are going to come down, but it doesn't look like they're going to land, at least not too much, as Envy has managed to make their way to the circle. They're going to now play gatekeeper for the 1 remaining member of wildcard who's still outside of circle. See, the last 2 remaining members of Shoot to Kill have managed to make their way into the north side. Profi, Balak have managed to make their way just outside of this next circle, while Wildcard a little bit more split to the southern edge. Have to see what happens here, as nobody in the center, everybody just holding down their own individual side of this last circle. Envy has pretty good position here. They have vehicles to give them cover. They have a little bit of a hill to work with and give them vision. As you can see, Pride is kind of being kept at bay, but it looks like he should be in the circle. This is all going to come down to where this last circle goes, as Shoot to Kill is just now making their way in. I don't think they have much cover to work with. That's why they're holding out as long as they possibly can before they move in. They know that you can see him taking shots from Wildcard. Uncivil is going to have to go prone behind this tree and heal up, but that's not going to do it and be enough as Pride gets that final shot on. He's going to get the down in the northern edge for Shoot to Kill, down to one player. You can see Ghost backing the truck up. They had a UAZ in that defilade that was still drivable, so they now have a little bit of cover to work with. Probably going to go ahead and blow that up for themselves, but as he does so, he's going to get shot from the north from the last surviving member of Shoot to Kill, unknown. So Profi down. Going to try to get the kill on this, and he's going to do it. So Balak, the last remaining member of Ghost, is going to have to worry about this player unknown from Shoot to Kill to the north, and the players of Wildcard, who are now slowly transitioning their way around the edge of the circle towards that northern edge. They don't want to go towards Envy, so working their way up the eastern side makes the most amount of sense here, as no one is in this next circle. So Envy trying to get as many shots as they can. They don't want to move into this next circle until they have a little bit more information on what's going on the eastern edge. You can see they have all helmets. They have meds. They have their armor. They have their helmets, but they don't have a lot of cover to work with once they get to that last circle. So ideally, they would try to get a couple of downs here before having to move. Wildcard also has a long way to go. They're going to all of these teams essentially are going to try to get some kind of down, some kind of damage onto their aggressors before having to move, so they don't have to worry about all three members looking up. They're not going to get it. So you can see unknown from Wildcard now starting to move in. They're going to try to take shots at Jesse, try to keep them pinned, try to keep them suppressed essentially, so they can move in. There's not much for them to work with here. The U.S. has no wheels on it. They don't want to try to get into that. They can see him unknown from Shoot to Kill snaking around a little bit, but the shots aren't landing. So what's going to happen here? Envy right on top of Shoot to Kill. Shoot to Kill is going to actually get a down on the Check Shooter. Will he get the kill? No, he will not. But Check Shooter, I don't know if they can get that res off as the circle is pushing in. They can't. Caden's going to have to go ahead and leave his teammate for dead as they slowly make their way in. Meanwhile, Balak snaking his way in on this eastern edge. He's got Kickstart coming up on his side. Kickstart, I'm not sure he's got vision yet. Balak sure as hell does. He's going to take the shots, but not going to get the down. Oh, he will get the down on the Kickstart, but not before getting wiped himself. So 2 players for Wildcard versus Caden, who is the last remaining member for Envy that is still up. But Caden does have a little bit of a hill to work with here. The grenades are going to come out. Oh no, Caden's eating blue damage. He's eating blue damage, and that's going to do it. The grenade is actually going to shoot him well into the blue zone, get the finish on the kill. So Wildcard coming out with 12 kills and a win. A very, very strong victory for that squad that needed these points to make their way up the leaderboard. You can see Caden and the rest of Envy, despite holding a really, really strong position for the most part of that game, only 1 kill for that squad. It's really kind of surprising. So Ghost also managing to make their way into the top 3 yet again with a 4-kill performance. Very strong. And meanwhile, Set to Destroy, 11 kills coming in 4th, and Ronin making their way, rounding out the top 5 with 2 kills. Very strong performance by all of these squads, but we're going to throw it to the analyst desk so we can talk about the implications that this has on the standings. Guys, take it away.
Thank you once again. Porosaurus, we did lose Esquire there to the wonderful internet gods. They've taken him from us, so Esquire.
Wildcard!
Dave, I'm not even going to say anything.
118
Take it away,
points
dude.
to go for the first place spot. 17. I'm looking at you, man. I'm looking at you.
Dave, I got a question for you. Do you
No.
do you have any body odorant repellent that you recommend for me? Because my pits are sweating. I'm starting to get a little shaky here. What you got? You got something that you use that you can tell me?
Take off that jacket, man. Take off that jacket. I mean, you got that lamp heating you up. I mean, if I was you, I don't know what I would do right now. I'd be freaking out. I'd be freaking out because you guys slowly but surely, you're watching that money just slip out your hand, man.
We'll see.
All right. So we needed. I mean, that game just made everything a little more serious. First of all, for our top three when it comes to Optic and Wildcard, because that is now a race. Wildcard, it's. They got pretty close. They're getting pretty close. So they got a lot of points there. So a little Optic stress. But on top of that, second place, Team Envious. We talked about them in game number 1. They got a 14th. They needed this. They're trying to get top 16. Third place, Ghost. They're looking even better now. They look like they have clutched out that position in the top 16. And then fourth, Shoot to Kill, kind of sneaking up a little quiet, showing up and, grabbing a fourth place. They could hypothetically run with this one. They might be able to clutch it out in the end if they have 2 huge games. And then Ronin in 5th. Ronin, another team that was right on the cusp. So all of a sudden, all of our teams today making big jumps. If you're Render, if you're Turtle Squad, Render, I think, is already eliminated. If you're Turtle Squad, if you're 4 PUBG players, and if you're Nova, I mean, now Nova's sitting there like, okay, this is getting real. All these teams are doing good. This is, our spot is, we're not safe. They are not safe right now. So it's getting very, very stressful for sure. So I'm going to twist this one a little bit for you there, 17.
Let's do it.
Because you're in the first place position. You've locked up your showdown spot. There's no way anyone's taking that from you. But if you are Nova, if you're 4 PUBG players right now, like what – I mean, is this something where you're just sitting there? It's not in your hands at all. You can't do it. It's out of your
hands. Yeah. It's out of your hands. You're sitting there, and you're a fan for everyone but the team. To give the example for myself, we're a fan of everyone but Wildcard right now, right? We just want these other teams to do well against Wildcard, and I love to just see the competition and to see it get really tense here. It's exciting for me, and knowing that it's all out of my hands is kind of relieving for me. We did what we could do, and we went out there, we set a bar. We think it was pretty solid, and if Wildcard comes out and they get 300 points, hey, they deserved it, so there's that.
Yeah.
Dave, I got a question for you.
You're a good sport, man. You're a good sport.
What's your math at, Dave? Do you have your magic number? Because I got my magic number for what Wildcard needs here.
I said 118, man. 118.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I got too. So
okay.
Glad we got the same math there.
Super close, dude.
118. I mean, in 2 games, that's very real. That's a win.
Easy, dude.
That's a
Unless
win with 6
they go
kills.
out early.
That's a win with 6 kills. So Wildcard, they're gonna have to play clean. You can't lay any eggs here. In game number 3 or 4, they really don't have that. They have to make sure that they're getting the points, and they're doing that to try and clutch out this first place. On top of that, Safe Res, nothing crazy so far tonight, so it looks like they will just hold where they are, maybe try and secure that 3rd place spot. But there's the Optic Wildcard fight up top, and then there's the other fight on the bottom. And that other one, I hope that we might be able to get updated leaderboards while we're on desk. We might not, so we might have to wait till in-game. We'll talk about it then if we get them in-game, but they are doing the scores. It takes some time. They're all input manually because you can't grab them from PUBG. No, you can't.
Honestly, 17, you got enough time. You got 2 more games. Maybe you can split the winnings with the squad if you hire a squad to have a bounty on Wildcard these next 2 games. I don't know. Put a bounty on these guys' heads. But, yeah, like Jabroni said, not many points. I mean, definitely doable. But let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about everything else, right? Like you guys made mention of Ghost, Envy. I mean, I guess this is for you, 17. With their performance so far tonight, especially with the second game, I mean, do you think our predictions are kind of on point with at least these 2 squads in particular making it into the top 16?
Yeah, so Ghost and Ronin are both looking really good. I think they'll get in. Should be a breeze for those 2. And then on the other hand, you got the same exact story for Envy and Slime Squad here. They were virtually tied. Envy had a 1-point lead coming into the day, and they both have now had one very poor game. I think Slime Squad went out in 14th or 15th, somewhere poor there, which is what Envy did last game. And Slime Squad pulled out a 5th last game, and Envy's here in 2nd. So it's looking a little bit better for Envy than Slime Squad here, but I'm excited to see how our predictions play out.
Yeah, and what's so interesting there is Envy and Slime Squad, out of the 4 teams that we mentioned, they were the highest ranked. So Ghost and Ronin were back behind, and then it was Envy out in front, Slime Squad right behind them by 1 point. So it's kind of like those teams moved up a little, the other two behind them moved up a lot, and they're all just right on top of each other right now. I think Ghost actually moved the furthest ahead, and it is just, I mean, it's
heating up.
a wild.
Heating up.
It's a
So
wild
the race is really excited. I think we've covered like pretty much everything we can cover in between games, but I do want to talk a little bit about the game itself.
Yeah,
The end there was, it's really hard to kind of spectate a squad, you know. We didn't get the chance to see how difficult all the obstacles that wildcard came through, because regardless of any team, not saying they did here, but regardless of what any others spectators see and they say circle luck or anything for these teams, it's always a struggle. I mean, I've been there, and at the end of the game, it's always a struggle. It doesn't matter how great your positioning is. So there's always obstacles you have to overcome, no matter how good or poor the circle is. I think the circles, the end circles there were equally as bad for everyone. So it's not like one team really got a great circle. But I do want to talk about the mid to early game, what Ghost did, which is they left McCoy out in the
3-1. The 3-1.
Yeah, the 3-1 split, and they left McCoy out. And this is just, you can say, 17, that's like hindsight bias that the zone went there this time. But they left the one player in the center of the zone, which is what you're hoping for when you do that, for the zone to keep getting in. And McCoy kept getting the zone, He was able to fend off a couple other teams that you saw who wanted that spot. Other teams know about this spot. They want the spot. And having that one person there deterred anyone else from coming there, so that the three members of Ghost, they were able to crossfire from McCoy and safely rotate over. I think they did end up losing someone and stuff like that, but they were able to make sure that no one else got there, because if anyone else gets there, then they're getting held out. Ghost is by that team. So great positioning there from them early game, and a lot of fun little mid-game skirmishes there. So I don't know if, Dave, you want to talk about maybe the Wizard Tower take?
Who was that? Fat Destroyer and the Hooligans? That was disgusting. I'm just gonna say that. I was gonna call them Team Unknown for this. Anonymous.
Team Unknown.
But they just, I feel like they're just allowed Set to Destroy to just walk up there and for free as well. I mean, I'm not sure if they were like splitting up loot or whatnot in that little time frame, but next thing you know, Set to Destroy is right at your doorstep, tossing some grenades, and then they're in the house, destroying you guys.
Yeah, and once you're stuck in that position where the outside team's nading you, you just have to try and make a play. Like it's only a matter of time before they're gonna wipe you. So I would have loved to see, they got one down actually. I'm not sure if it was a nade that they threw that got a member of Set to Destroy down, or if it was like Envious or some other third party. But they should be able to recognize, hey, that's the same team. There's one down. It's 2v3. It sucks, but this is our only chance.
And that Wizard Tower, though, that wasn't the only fight there. We had Safe Res, Space Station Gaming. It was the same tower, right? I mean, that whole tower was just a magnet for a majority of the game. And truly, I don't think anybody was a winner, because none of those teams that took part in those tower fights actually made it into late game. I mean, late game, it was just shoot to kill, Ghost, Wildcard, and Envy. But one more thing. I mean, we had the tower. We had all those tower fights going down in the south. And then in the north, we also had the mansion fights. I mean, you got any opinions on that? I mean, I was favoring EU. They had the high ground. They had that nice compound. But surprisingly enough, shoot to kill, I mean, they're the only people who made it out. They're alive. Only people.
Yeah, that was quite the cluster there. Mac, do you what do you think about that?
It's one of those things when you have a zone, and it actually happened, I believe it happened yesterday in EU, I think. But when you have a zone that has mansion and the area around it involved, a lot of teams can get in there. They can get in the woods. They can get, I mean, a lot of teams, there's a lot of cover and area for these teams to find their way safe. But as it starts going south, they start accumulating, and it seems like it's always on that one garage building on the southeast side. And then at the end there, they all have to move, and it's the same thing as leaving a city at that point. It's so much cover to nothing. That's the transition, where it's literally like everybody can stay. Okay, now we all have to get closer, and then we all have to leave at the same time. And it's just an absolute bloodbath. And Shoot to Kill was able to escape out of that and get a fourth place. And I think that's huge for them. It gives them a chance. It gives them life right now.
For sure. So. And I gave you three teams last before game 2. I'll give you 3 teams before game 3 to keep an eye out on. Obviously, Wildcard, seeing what they can do and if they can take first over. Followed by Envious and Slime Squad. Those are the two that, like I said, I think Ghost and Ronin are in a good spot to where they should secure that top 16. And Slime Squad and Envious, the pressure's on them now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
definitely.
I do think we're in a situation that all 4 teams make it. I'm really starting to feel that
Wow.
way with the performance
Wow.
right now. Yes, absolutely. I
Wow.
don't know. I mean, they've all played pretty well. This didn't happen for EU earlier, but today all 4 of these teams that were so close seem to be playing very well. But it is now time to get into game number 3, and in this situation, I'm actually going to join Porosaurus on the cast for the 2 remaining games.
Hey,
So
have
let's
fun,
go
George.
ahead
Woo!
and transition
Have
it to me and Poro in game number 3.
And here we are. Game 3 coming in hot. Plane coming in from the middle of the East Coast going south. Kind of a crappy plane. I am Porosaurus, and I screw up team names all the time. Not set to destroy, shoot to kill. You know, I don't know.
Well, all right.
Karoni, help me. I'm glad you're
here's
here to
the
help me
here's
out
the
now.
here's the thing, Poro. This is I posted it in Twitch chat actually earlier. This is the bane of casters' existence. First of all, we got a bunch of teams changing rosters. Second of all, in game number 1 and game number 2, we had game number 1 especially, we had a bunch of teams just deciding to play in different numbers, so they were not listed the correct way. And then on top of that, we have the unknown bug, just to make it all worse. It is just the worst thing ever. So it happens.
man.
I've done it plenty of times. You know,
No excuses.
No
No excuses. I will not screw up any team names
ever.
from now on,
Ever
again. Slime Squad, you are all unknown for the rest of time. But okay, so here we see not the most ideal of planes, and we got some weird drop patterns. Georgia Pull pretty much all off the table. You think Envy is going to actually do the Rozhok drop again, or you think they take vehicles and try to make their way?
It looks like they're making a bit of a vehicle play here. That's MJO and MicroStar. You see they're kind of pushing School and Apps. Check Shooter's teasing it a little bit, but Jesse will definitely dropping for the compound over by the vehicles. The unknown Envious player, which, if I'm not mistaken, is Kaisuko in this situation. He's the only one unlisted. I would assume it is him. Caden seems to be full commit for Rozhok. Yeah, Kaisuko, recent addition to Envious. And if you saw the tweet, Kaisuko has quite a head of hair on him. It is like crazy. It's all wild and up in the air. It's all.
Well, your boy is quaffed.
Oh no! Oh, MicroStar creeping with the motorcycle here right onto Caden. Caden grabbing a immediate shotgun jumping down, so we might see an early 1v1 in Rozhok.
Oh, he's trying to get out of there. He hit the wall, but nothing scarier than hearing that shotgun cock. If you ever went over to a prom date's house with a dad who owns guns.
That didn't
yeah,
didn't happen to
Caden,
me.
you did it. You did it, man. You scared him away,
Could you
buddy.
imagine if he sniped that? That would have been great. So, oh, look at this circle. We're going up north. All right, this is an interesting one, Poro, because this circle can do a few different things. All right, first of all, it can stay near Severny, in which case it's an absolute mess and disaster, and everyone hates it. It could stay near water, which creates the exact same thing. Or if it goes a little bit to the southeast there, right, let's say just north of Exodus, that is wide open, man. Barely any cover, just a few compounds. We'll have teams shooting each other from 200-plus meters away. It is a beautiful thing, and that's what I hope happens here.
We also have the option of that far east swing, going for a Stalber, making it on the sides of those hills. Those ones are really crazy, right? Because you could be within 100 feet of somebody and really just not have any vision on them. So. Stalber circles are really crazy. I don't know what we're going to see, though, because these circles lately have been swinging so friggin' hard. It's almost impossible to tell where anything's going to go. It seems like the algorithm's been updated to where you hardly ever see circles in the first couple of circles go near center anymore. It feels that way. It's probably not true, but it feels like that.
Yeah, there's just something wild to it. Now, my wonderful man over here, we do have updated leaderboards.
Hey,
if it's possible, we do. So in a couple seconds here, we will pop these leaderboards up. This will show your current top 16, who has snuck in and all the good things. Right here, we actually have actual numbered scores. That is not the updated one, though. You're going to have to wait. We're going to hit. There it is. Wildcard got up to 1393, creeping on Optic, very, very close. That's the fight for first right now if you're watching Wildcard. And if we can scroll down towards the wonderful 16 area, we'll see what's going on down there. 4 PUBG players still safe. Ghost has made the top 16. Nova still in 13. Turtle Squad still safe. And right below them, we'll see how close the boys got. Team Envious, 5 points away from that 16 spot. And only 4 points behind them is Ronin.
Look how close that is. once you get towards that end. I said it earlier today when we were going into EU, or at least I said 900. That was probably wrong. It ended up being closer to 1,000. But that's kind of the cutoff, really, to make sure that you're going to be safe. And it looks like that's going to be ending up the same way for North America. As we see Envy starting to make a little bit of a transition. Caden heading out a little bit north to try to find himself a nice little compound to hold down. If I had to guess, I'd say they're going for that intersection right there just to the north of the crate, which is dropping. Yeah, that's a good, strong intersection to hold. Especially if you're Envy.
Yeah, and I actually like the movement by Exodus here. They used the zone. It was a bad plane path. They decided, forget North George. Let's go loot Sev. Let's get there. And now, actually making a play down for that compound. No, creeping on the crate. What are you doing here? You're heading down towards Caden. Caden might be able to square up here and take some shots, and he does, and he gets an immediate headshot.
Wow. Caden, you're a friggin' monster. Good Lord. You know, I mean, just as soon as the vehicle squared up and he could see that head, immediate headshot. That's going to be one down for Exodus. And, you know, you could kind of almost say maybe that was greed.
I don't know where he was going. Like I don't know where he was going. Maybe he thought he had a free crate. Like maybe he was just like, oh, this is definitely free. But I mean, Caden, just the instant headshot, no problem. Watch this. This is his first bullet. He jumps over. He's like, oh, you hit a bump, dead. Get out. Get out of the car.
Disgusting.
Get out of the car. Game's over. You're done.
Just disgusting. Well, it looks like Envy actually, instead of holding the intersection, is going to opt instead for maybe holding down the yellows just to the south of that. You see the rest of the team now transitioning in, and I really like that actually because, you know, too often we'll see teams that send a scout, and they send a scout to hold a really strong position, and they leave that scout there for way, way too long by themselves to where they end up getting pushed by some other team that's transitioning in. Instead, Envy this time making sure that the rest of their squad right behind them don't want to leave Spectre by himself too often. They are going to take shots from a distance. It looks like Ronan, who's going to go ahead and take the other half of that compound on the intersection. But Jesse an unknown here. I guess that's Kaisuko with the magnificent quaff. Already at these houses, so they're going to be trading shots back and forth here for a little bit.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting. Last week during PUBG Online, during NA, Envious actually chose that same yellow building to hold down, and it was an amazing crash that they had. I believe it was Check Sheeter pushing onto it, and then the other players supporting further east. It was a great fight for Envy to win that, and then they held it down to get, I think they got third or fourth at the end of the game. But here they have a 2-2 split, and yes, they are holding the intersection, but World Destroyer under a little bit of pressure as his warehouse no longer safe. Ronan creeping up. Nice shots on the Kraken.
He didn't take any shots off of that either, so he's not even a little bit low, so he's going to be pretty even with Duck here. He does end up taking shots from distance from the other members of Ronan, but Duck, World Destroyer, 1v1 in the warehouse. Who you got?
I'm scared. I don't even know. I'm a little surprised, actually, on the decision by Ronan here to move to this warehouse. They have two at intersection against Envy, and they decided to check this one out. The shots come out. Easy headshot for World Destroyer there. Taking down Duck. So that will be 2 eliminated for Ronan there.
Boy, get yourself some loot there, World Destroyer. You earned it, my man. You holding down this warehouse all by himself. You can see the rest of his team now coming in. Fortunately, coming out on top in the 1v2 in that situation that we were just talking about, where a team sends a scout to hold the position of power very early and leaving him alone maybe a little bit too long. But fortunately, World Destroyer he's got his trigger finger on lock today.
Yeah, Ghost actually pushing right onto the gas station. Energetic Turtle getting a quick down onto Unknown. Profi taking out Microstar. He will be killed off, and it looks like Ghost Gaming will be able to hold down the gas station here early in this game. Nice. I like this. Players pushing on top of other teams. Let's go. This is what I like to see, a little aggression.
This is a super violent early game. You don't usually see this many fights this early, but these positions of power in this type of circle here, obviously really, really worth fighting for and fighting over. As you can see, a lot of teams making late rotations in. Wildcard making their way up that far west coast. 2 teams in Military Island still have yet to leave, as we see the rest of Team 7, Smoking Aces, going to make their late rotation in, and the rest of Team Slime Squad coming in late as well. Set to destroy. the actual set to destroy, shooting, taking shots over
Nice.
at Ghost as Balak tries to move over to destroy. So Ghost with a pretty good split here. They're going to give themselves a lot of vision and be able to collect a lot of information across this wide open field in between them.
Yeah, absolutely. We see a lot of teams with a late rotation. That's what happens when the zone goes all the way up in the north. You had a southeastern plane. Very surprising, though. We saw Space Station Gaming taking 4 boats around the western side. So they will show up at the circle probably tomorrow, I would assume, at some point in time. I mean, they either need to go all the way around or make land, use the river, maybe. It's going to be pretty scary, so we'll see how that works out for them. But here's Hooligans. Team unknown, if you will. So many of them just marked unknown, all except for Wonderful. Yes, all except for Wonderful Micro Fry. But there is Micro Fry and Micro Star in today's game as well, just to make your life easier, along with all the unknowns. So that, you know, they're really setting us up here, trying to make this as difficult as possible. But it's all right.
In America, we do love our micros.
Yeah, do we?
I don't know. Micro Machines were lit, dude. You remember Micro Machines?
They were lit. Lit indeed.
Micro Machines
E-United.
were the best, dude.
E-United taking some shots at the splitting up shoot-to-kill team that has now sent 2 players up to the north. World Destroyer and Uncivils will hold down the warehouse. Interesting split for them, kind of far away. Hopefully, maybe they were trying to get to where E-United was, but decided to move down to that gas station up on the north on the northern road. And actually, they're a 2-1-1 split right now, which is very strange to me.
Yeah, I think there's that little dip just to the northwest of where Vegas is, just to the south of the garage.
Yes.
It looks like E-United is just kind of making sure that nobody's there. I don't know if they're going to make moves to take that, because I think they do like their compound. It looks like actually our 2 teams that were in Millie, are they aware of each other? Is Alo, Steezy? Yeah, they're taking shots. Alo and Steezy, I'm not sure if they have a vehicle here or if they're just wanting to scrap. But they are well out of circle right now as they kind of take these long-range shots over at Team 5. Where's my monitor? Don't know what the plan is here. Okay, they do have a bike. All right,
Yeah,
so they were just kind of posting up to. Yeah. I was wondering if they were fighting that because they maybe destroyed their
fighting for
vehicle
the vehicle or something along those lines.
Yeah. Because that would make sense.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay, not the worst circle for a lot of
kind of the
majority
zone
of
that
these
we
games.
teased a little bit. Actually, we have the big open field. You see Ghost Gaming, 2 of them dead center. It's McCoy and Balak Profi, and if I'm not mistaken, Energetic Turtle still at the gas stations. They're center circle right now. It's a good location, but look at how wide open this is. As Envy is on the move right away, they will most likely have to crash somewhere. It'll be interesting to see if they actually stop right up here at this shack that you see in front of you and kind of peek over, look at where McCoy and Balak are. But no, they're heading to this other shack, which is kind of strange. It seems like an awkward second choice. I think the other one's a little bit stronger. Not sure what's going on with Check Shooter there. He is okay. That is his
Oh my
arms
God,
are looking
Check Shooter, your arms! Somebody
idea.
get that man to a hospital.
I have no idea what's happening right now.
Somebody,
Okay, all right, we're good. We're good, guys.
Okay.
Don't worry.
He doesn't have a helmet on either. I wonder if he was worried about getting off. Maybe he was worried about getting off and throwing the bike and downing himself. I don't know. Bikes are so weird in this game right now.
They're terrifying.
Who knows?
They're honestly terrifying.
Like I don't. I see a 3-seater and I just run. Like I will. If I'm in the blue and I pass a 3, I will run right by that son of a bitch. I'm not even lying. I'm not scared. I will not get on that thing to save my life from the blue. But Ronan still managing to trade these shots back and forth with Andy. It looks like they've just kind of these 2 teams have just kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? They've set themselves up as nice little neighbors here. They're not pushing this too hard. If they get a free headshot, they'll take it. But they're pretty comfortable with each other's presence, it seems.
Yeah, all right,
Kind of
so let's
protecting each other, essentially.
I'm gonna throw some quick numbers out. These are courtesy of Optic 17 as he sits here and he does the quick maths while he's watching these games. So, these are magic numbers. These are guaranteed numbers, meaning if these teams get this many points, they are guaranteed entry. Ghost needs 36, Envy needs 69, Ronin needs 73, Slime Squad needs 111. In that case, all 4 of those teams will get in if they achieve those points. Now, already 2 of these teams are guaranteed spots, meaning that Ghost, Envy, and Ronin, out of those 3, 2 of them will make it into the top 16 no matter what happens. But because they're playing against each other, there's no guarantee for all 3 of them. On top of that, Safe Res can actually pass Totality and take 3rd place with 40 more points, and Space Station Gaming can do the exact same with 137 points. So a lot of just crazy things that can happen. Some late jumpings.
Jumpins.
Some jumpins. A lot of jumpins can go down right now.
Well, you already saw Space Station coming out to play tonight early with a crazy high kill finish. I think it was 17 kills if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So they are transitioning a little bit late into this circle on foot of all things. So kind of an unfortunate position for them to be in right now. So we see them just chugging along across the open fields.
I'm honestly impressed because they took boats from Primorsk up to Georgia Pole, through the river, and here they are kind of almost back to reality and in the game. So Space Station Game and all 4 still alive, just cruising, running on foot. Probably no vehicles because everyone has taken them up until this point. And it looks like they will likely beat the zone here, or very, very closely not, to get in. The problem is they got Wildcard right in front of them. Wildcard actually running into Slime Squad right on top of one another, actually.
Yeah, Slime Squad there. MJ, oh my God, right on top. That AK is so disgusting at close range. MJ Yo already getting this down onto Unknown. Kumai has some vision on it. No scopes here, no optics at all for MJ Yo. He's going to make sure that that player goes down and they get that kill before being killed himself by Kickstart. So that is going to do it.
That's the most unlucky thing I've ever seen in my entire life. He stopped right there, peeked right above MJO's head, and MJO just waiting with the AK, grabbing a quick kill onto Wildcard. So Wildcard will now be playing with just 3 as they continue their move east. They're going to come into Noble next, followed by Ghost as they keep heading that direction. So a very stressful trip coming up for the boys from Wildcard. Noble actually, they're in a decent spot.
No.
Yikes.
That is So that's going to be a rough pop for Space Station. They're going to need to go ahead and try to find a vehicle as soon as possible. Everybody with vehicles, you can see, already making their way in. Looks like Ghost is going to reconnect with the rest of their team, or not. They're just going to go ahead and pass right by and maybe take this split with the compound and the shack on the corner. Envy taking shots at whatever they can see. That is set to destroy, if I'm correct. I think I am. I know my players.
You are.
I know my
Trust
team.
yourself.
I got faith in me.
I got faith in me. Oh, energetic
Daculus.
turtle dropping out. EDAC of Noble. They were creeping on the same shack. We talked about that shack earlier. Has great sight lines. And now Ghost has a great split in that location based on that movement. We see Ronin actually crashing right now, right on top of one member set to destroy. It's the unknown member. We don't know who this guy is in a 2v1 situation. Takes a shot, but does go down to Colda Menta.
Ooh, Texas does manage to get taken down as he's going in, but they should be able to get the safe res on. Set to destroy now. Holding down this cliff edge as the 3-man squad. 2 members of Noble have managed to make it to the safest RV on Earth. Although it's not feeling too safe right now as they get the grenades rained down on them. They lost Boom in transition as well, so now Noble actually in a really rough spot here. Oh, there he goes. Oh, yeah, that grenade's going to go ahead and knock him out into vision. Godspeed can try to get the res here. It's really kind of a question of how many grenades does Hooligans have right now. And
oh, Fignaldo with the K98 taking out Godspeed. So Noble has been eliminated. They will finish off the game in 14th place. Taking your time, getting the headshot.
14th place for Noble. I'm not sure where this is as far as the standings go. Oh, Jimmer with some great shots onto Regency there, and that's going to be it for Exodus there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an
United
exit for them.
wiping the entire team. So we're now down to 12 teams after starting with 15. So Noble and Exodus also down. I'm not sure who the first team to go out. I think it was whoever Wildcard ran up on. I can't remember now. That was way too long ago for my old butt to ever remember. But Balak, not sure what he's shooting at there. He's just letting him know.
It was Slime Squad, by the way. That was
it's Slime
MJO.
Squad. Okay,
MJO. Slime Squad.
MJO. That's
Yeah.
You're right,
Yeah.
Mr. Meow.
I got you.
Mr. Meow. I appreciate it. This is why I'm glad to have 2 people here to remind me when I screw up.
It's all right. Look at Space Station Gaming finally making it into the zone right in front of us, team number 5. We see Where's My Monitor hiding in the shack. Space Station Gaming just kind of walking in. It's nice and late. Nobody here is holding the western side anymore. If they can get uphill and actually get towards this warehouse, they could be in a decent spot to play the rest of this game out. The blue has been at their backs all game, but when nobody's shooting you, for the most part, it feels pretty good, you know?
You know, the only thing that, like, obviously it's great. They've managed to maintain all 4 members. They managed to get all the way into circle. It's probably the most boring competitive match that any of these players have ever played in their life, because I don't think they've come across any other teams during their transition. But they should be coming across people pretty early here. They haven't eaten a lot of blue either, so they should have a lot of meds. But right now, set to see, I caught myself. Shoot to kill. Engaged in a fight uphill with the remaining members of United. United with a really hard split here. See Geist already going down.
Yeah, this has got to be a tough situation for Shoot to Kill. Jimmer looking for some angles right now. United kind of teasing it around. They don't have an angle yet. As you see, they're in a nice little car plus Jack little cover there. Uncivil's taking some shots in his direction. He's in trouble. He's got to worry, and he switches to the other side. And Jimmer can see him, and Jimmer does take him down with some nice clean shots. So World Destroyer, an unknown Shoot to Kill player, number 4, will have to try and pull this one off.
Jimmer with the clean 4x scar shots onto Uncivils. Peeked it really hard, but was fortunately able to land the shots when it really counted. So Shoot to Kill in a pretty rough spot here. They do have to transition into this circle. E United does not want to move in until they have made sure that this team is dead first, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a big fear for them, especially with this new zone that popped. They're going to have to move to the south here. We didn't even get a chance to look at this moving down. They're going to have to get off the hill, get towards the lake in this area. Ghost Gaming is in such a good spot along with Hooligans.
They are.
Great locations right now to hold off these northern teams.
This is going to be interesting for Ghost Gaming and Hooligans, as they're currently holding the best positions in this new circle. But that means they're going to get pressured very hard. As speaking of pressure, United not wasting any time here, trying to come in and finish off the remaining members of Shoot to Kill. So that is going to do it for that squad. And now United pretty much owns the North. Kings of the North.
Kings of the North until they head down to Ghost Gaming and Hooligans. They got to get past those 2 squads. Right in front of us, this is Safe Res, their unknown player, and Alo. Steezy BB, you see him still alive as well. They just finished off Set to Destroy. So Set to Destroy will be eliminated in 11th place.
Man, teams going out. This is
violence.
It's
violence,
super
Poro.
violent. I'm like, I can't say that I'm not just really surprised at how many players have already gone down, how many teams have already been gone out, and we haven't even. I mean, this is about the circle. This transition phase is usually when we see teams start going out. But the fact that we're down to 10 teams, only 33 alive at this point already. Kind of surprising to me. These teams have come to frag tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we have E United. Yeah, E United moving down. They found a way into the zone, which is huge for them. Unfortunately for Space Station Gaming, their push is going to be much harder as Ghost Gaming is going to gatekeep them on the way. And you see D-Master and Smurf. Look at what they're running through. They are running through nothing. D-Master has to try and get in here without Profi seeing him. You see the shots coming out in that direction right now from both teams. Even on the eastern side, E United's taking shots this way too. D-Master does go down. Smurf goes down as well. There's no way they can push into this. The unknown member trying to use smokes to maybe get down to the shack. That is the real only hope. The shots are coming out. I believe that is H-Win, if I'm not mistaken, the final member, and he has been down as well, and it's all up to Vexel all alone on the eastern side to try and make this run.
And this is the problem with having to take those boats all the way around. Yes, they did manage to get into circle on foot, but now your late game, you have no vehicle, you have no way to transition easily to any place that's safe, and you're just on foot and you're exposed from so many different angles. So this is kind of, and you can see Ghost taking the shots now at Vexel. I'm not sure if Vexel is going to be alive for much longer. And yep, that's going to be it. That's going to go down. So Space Station Gaming, our 10th team out. As we check on Healthy Health.
Oh, yikes.
Getting the quick nade from McCoy. So McCoy making his way all the way out from the outside of this this garage building. So Ghost, this split from them is working absolute wonders right now.
Yeah, and how does Wildcard move from this one? All the way in the south right now. You see Pride, you see Tumai, you see Kickstart. They're south. They have to get up to where Ronin is. They need to move in that direction. They have to get past Envious. And then Ghost doing exactly what they wanted to, clearing out the northwestern side. They're in great position right now. That is a hill. They are towards the top of it or can move up in that direction. So Balak and Energetic Turtle feeling pretty good. McCoy backed up. Looks like he might go grab some loot from his recent kill. Yes, that is exactly what he is doing. Then he will hop back in the US and head up into zone. Ghost Gaming looking pretty good so far, and they should be safe moving into this next one, no problem.
We'll say we have quite a few teams that have at least 3 players up. As you see, E United's here sitting on 3. Team number 1, Hooligan, sitting on a full 4 in this compound, which they can just kind of stay at for right now. I'm actually gonna vote right now, at least in North America. Can we name that the Ghost Compound after this last land? I'm gonna say yes. So you see Wildcard making their way into the water.
Swim,
the
swim.
only really option that they have at this point. I think they should be able to make their way up the edge there at the one little section that's still in the white. But once they do, they're going to have safe res right there on their edge.
Yeah, Pride should be able to get over here and maybe have some cover. If he can stay away or out of the sideline of safe res, Wildcard may be able to make a play off this. But look at that. That is dangerous for them. They could definitely be spotted out if Steezy or one of these players get the eyes in that direction. And that's a big worry. If you're Tumai, you're not even in the zone, so he's taking damage already. Don't even know if he can outswim this one anymore. So Tumai might be dead here. It might be all up to Pride. Envy under a lot of pressure as well as they try and sneak into the zone. It's Balak and the rest of Ghost Gaming looking in this direction, trying to hold them in their smokes, hold them out of the zone, in the shack, and in this direction.
I love this from Balak. This is such an aggressive wide flank. They know that if he gets tapped, if he gets knocked, he's pretty much dead. But they also know that Envy has to make their way past them to get into the circle. So Balak trying to get that pressure on, trying to put the shots on as much as he can, keeping Envy from making their move until the last possible second. Now you see Safe Res has become aware of Wildcard's presence here. Pride is just going to have to do what he can to be as best a fish as he can possibly be.
Yeah, he's just got to swim for the rest of this zone and hope that eventually someone pushes on it. Steezy BB knocks out Caden of Envious. So Envious here, little bit of struggles as the blue is at their back. A lot of pressure coming through Safe Res. Wildcard Pride actually did make it ashore, got behind the rock, and I don't think Ronin can see him there either. So their hopes will stay alive with Pride.
So Pride is just going to stay here and live as long as possible. Unfortunate Safe Res wasn't able to land the shots, but they had kind of their attention split between Envy and Pride. So looked like they were scoped in on Envy while Pride was making his way up the water, up the beach to the rock where he's currently hiding. You can see Ghost in the kill feed racking up kills still.
Yep, taking the shots, a lot of them towards E United, towards Hooligan, and the zone actually went north. So E United's going to be able to hold this one down. They will be in the zone. Not a crazy amount of cover, but they do have some vehicles. They do have some trees. They have to worry about the Hooligans push. Hooligans part of the compound is safe, so they need to stay out of those sight lines. Eventually that fight is going to happen. And Ghost Gaming's responsibility right now is Envious. It is those teams in the south. The way this zone went, they're going to rotate right to the southern side. They're going to have to try and find cover. They're going to be in a tough spot, and they need to defend from all these teams trying to move in.
So if you're Hooligans here, do you still stay in that compound? Do you hold that edge of the wall? I think you have to, pretty much. But I don't know if they have vision on, or if they can get vision onto E United or Ghost from that position. They have the information. They know E United is there. Ooh, some quick shots onto Steezy here. Team 2 actually Safe Res as the hardest transition to make, and you can see they're already starting to try to make it in as Hooligans is kind of got split attention right now. They've only got one player looking to the south while Safe Res makes their way into their compound. So they're already transitioning to get to this wall, but it might have been too early if Safe Res is able to push onto them.
Yeah, this one's going to be really tough. You see Pride, he's in a lot of trouble. Right now, Safe Res, the zone is moving. They need to move. They need to stop these fights and get into the compound north if they want to stay alive. Drassel's on his way, starting to move in that direction. There's one actually sneaking there that may be able to get to the compound, but the Hooligan eyes are still in this direction. Pride does go down for Wildcard. They will get 6th place overall. Texas of Ronin has snuck into the zone. He's getting shot from behind, but he is alive and he is safe right now.
It's a good transition from Texas, getting into that US while all the fights were going on. Managing to make it, but unfortunately, he's still going to end up going down. Not sure to who, some unknown player, Not sure which unknown player from which known team it is. See Turtle taking these long-range 8x and 4 shots. The 8x spray coming out strong, and Ghost going to rack up another kill, sitting on 12 total right now. This is surely going to grow as the circle starts to move a little bit, or the circle starts pushing everybody into this compound. You see Safe Res now. Definitely has to deal with hooligans, but the transition, they lost a lot of members in transition here, so it's just going to be Alo and the last remaining member to the south.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I don't even know if he can get across here. No, he cannot. Alo goes down of Safe Res. It's all up to last member. He's actually rotating towards Ghost. So McCoy here. No, and there he goes. Profi takes him out. So that is Safe Res. They will take 4th this game. So Ghost Gaming still alive, E United still alive, and Hooligans, those are your final teams. Ghost Gaming is a 2-2 split. 2 players in the south, 2 players on the west. E United, all 3 members up in the north. And all Hooligans players in the compound, they will have to now leave. This one's going to be interesting. All teams need to move. E United the least.
Yeah, this is going to be a really rough push for Hooligans here. They have to deal with E United and Ghost setting up basically a crossfire kill box on top of them. But you see E United already taking shots over towards Profi. Well, I guess they're just trying to destroy that vehicle for some reason. I don't think anybody's hiding behind that at this point, buddy. But they've got a pretty good hold on this northern part here. It just depends on how aggressive Balak decides to try to get here. They know that they're there, but you don't want to push out too far, because if Balak goes down here, he's pretty much dead, and that's going to be 3 players left for Ghost. But they want to gain this information. They want to know what E United is doing.
Yeah, this is actually really important. The way Vegas was holding that, he was holding this side. They know they're going to try and rotate around, using the west side, trying to creep in, staying outside of the zone and rotating in from the north. Vegas holding that down, using the ghillie suit. He's in a great position if Balak decides to rotate that way. Hooligans under a lot of pressure. The shots are coming out. They're actually shooting back at Ghost as well, who is split very, very wide. Ghost is going to have to run and get to these trees somehow, maybe even prone through this one. I really like where EU is. I feel like EU has a really good advantage here as they're all moving into zone. They got the vehicles in. Balak's creeping up, and he's going to throw some frags out and see if he can connect here. That one might be a little short right on the vehicle. Not quite close enough as Jimmer does get away.
He's basically just raining nades down onto where he just heard the vehicle stop. E United doing their best to push forward a little bit, make a car for it, but going to lose 1 member already. As you see, Balak starting to make this push, making the push a little bit stronger. Ghost has managed to make their way into the circle. Hooligans have managed to make their way out of the compound. We have 1 member of Ghost crashing right into Hooligans. Profi, super aggressive here. And the 1v2 is going to get 1, but it's going to get traded out by Vegas. It's going to get it down there. You see McCoy now coming with the long reach around the long reach around flank, but it's not going to pay off. It's not going to pay off.
That's a grown man, by the way, chat.
You're right. As the last one unknown player from Hooligans, I think, is going to go down. So it's now just going to be between E United and Balak, the last 2 remaining members of Ghost, unless McCoy is able to get a res here on Profi to make this an even 3v3. But E United looks content to pretty much just play this safe. They have not been playing very aggressively, but they may change that now.
Well, Balak all alone. He's got to get away before E United pushes. They're going to spot him out. Jimmer does take the shot, and Balak goes down. So now we will have Profi being res here by Energetic Turtle. So it's a 3v2. They need to try and get it down here stat. They are not in zone. They really don't have good cover to move into. Spots Jimmer immediately does throw. He's going to take the shot. Nice shots and a quick down.
Turtle is so gross. Such a good shot. Oh,
and
man,
that hurt
good
really
shot from Vegas. As Turtle is now going to have to take some time to heal up. Profi going to try to cover down. It looks like they might be getting the res onto Jimmer, and they do. So it's going to bring it back to a 3v2, but both of these teams have to move into this next circle. Turtle very, very low, taking these shots very super aggressively. He's going to be able to get the heal off, but they are going to have to move across. Oh, he gets the down onto Jimmer with the, I'm assuming with the explosion. And Vegas now, wide out in the open, is going to go down as well. So now it's just going to be down to unknown from E United. Can he get the res onto Jimmer? No, he cannot. Turtle with the great flank, and that is just pure aggressive play by Ghost. Look at these kills.
Ghost is, wow, holy crap. That's 21 kills. All right, Ghost, I see you. I see you.
Okay, Ghost.
Out here,
Calm
a second,
down.
a third, a first. They grabbed the first with 21 kills, looking out of control. Great game from E United here, grabbing a second place. I think that's huge for them. Micro Fry and the 3 unknowns from Hooligans grabbing that third place. A very good job by them. I mean, they were struggling. They had a rough 2 first games, so I think that's huge for that team. And then, Steezy, Alo, Drassel, #unknown. First of all, joke's on you guys. I've actually been #unknown this entire time. I'm playing on all these teams at the exact same time. It's really hard. But
Well, look, first and second, between first and second, 21 kills and then 11 kills. That's
more than half. That's more than half of the lobby.
That's
Yeah.
half the lobby. And you throw in Team 4 into there with Alo, Drassel, and Steezy. I mean, look, we talk about how important kills are. But these guys are just running a monopoly on getting kills right now. Turtle just going absolutely bonkers. 8 kills on him. So, Balak taking shot calling duties. So it makes sense that he's not getting as many. But look at how much they're opening up for the rest of their fraggers to just really do what they do and secure these kills.
Yeah, absolutely huge. I think the way that we saw Ghost Gaming play that was just awesome. Their splits, they were being very careful. They kept moving. It was kind of like half the team would move, half the team would move, half the team would move. They kept moving together, snaking into the zone, and I think it was a great job by them. And then they were ultra aggressive at the end, spreading out and getting the kills and keeping everyone away. Now, we're going to kick it over to the wonderful analyst desk, which is myself.
Kick it over to yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna send this one over to myself right now on the analyst desk. Thank you very much, me. I'm here once again. Optic 17, Mustache
He does it
Dave,
all.
Game 3, and yeah,
He does it all.
That's my job out here. Just do all of it. Just come out here.
And you do a damn good job, Mac.
Thank you. Wow, that means a lot. Thanks for that. Dave always tells me every single night, like after we have a cast together, it's like, "Hey man, great job." I'm like, "Thanks." It's positive energy. That's what we need more of in this world. But Ghost Gaming, 21 kills, man. Out of control.
Nuts.
Dave,
I mean, if they had a couple more games, they might be challenging for that #1 spot. I'm just saying the way they're
63
playing.
points in kills alone.
Yikes.
Phenomenal.
That is a lot. That is a lot. So, Ghost Gaming, feel free. Just, relax. Okay? You've made it.
Yeah, relax, guys. You're top 16 already. Just chill out. Chill out.
I mean, they started the day off in 22nd. They jumped to 16th almost immediately with a second place in game #1. And now it's like, oh, yeah, we'll get a third and a first with 21 kills. Just put the cherry
Give
on
other
top.
people a chance. Let's go. Give
Well,
other teams a chance.
that's actually really important what Ghost Gaming did, because some of these teams, it's not only important that you pass Render, you pass Turtle Squad, but in order for all these teams to get in, they all have to pass Nova as well. So they all have to get up there. So Ghost Gaming has now done that. They have jumped up. They are secured. Ooh. They have to be feeling good. They're definitely in a really good spot. We talked about how they needed like 30-something points to guarantee, and they got 167. So.
Woo! Right. They're in. They did it.
Yeah, feeling pretty good. But how about Ronan once again with a 5th? So Ronan, consistency tonight, all top 5 so far this evening. They have to be feeling pretty good.
Slowly but surely creeping their way in. I mean, they got one more game. Let's see what these guys can pull off, right?
Yeah,
Let's see what they can pull off.
We're looking at Slime Squad now, right? We're looking.
Yeah, we're looking at Slime Squad
to perform
Looking
here.
at Slime.
And Envy.
We saw
Envious.
I think they went out 5th there, or they went 7th.
7th?
They went right before wild card, which is something we obviously need to talk about. Dave, what's your magic number?
What's your magic number? What's the magic number?
Dude, the second mortgage. Oh man, you guys are squeezing me tonight. You're squeezing me. These guys, they need 75 points. A third place, a second place, or a first place, or just a frag out of their mind.
75 points. 75 points. That's a third place, 5 kills, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I got it down for you right here. I got this for you. We got third place with 2 kills.
Third place with 2 kills.
We'll get it. 4th place with 5 kills. Interesting dynamic here, Mac. The people in the background might have to check on it. That would be a tie, so we'd have to go to a tiebreaker.
Whoa! Okay, wait, hold on. Now, I don't know the official rules on tiebreakers, but I think it's actually a Pachinki. I think it's a Pachinki hot drop. that
No guns? Punch arms
no,
only?
no, oh no, guns are in. This is 100% RNG, loot RNG. We just want you all, just all 8 of you will drop in Pachinki, and the last one alive wins. That's not the official rule, but if they let me choose, that's what we're doing. So prepare yourself. That's all. I'm saying.
So if anyone out there is rooting for the tie, and which hopefully
No, I
not,
believe it
'cause
actually
I don't
comes
know
down.
what the tiebreaker is.
I believe it comes down to wins. I think wins are the first tiebreaker.
Wins or placement points, something like along those
Yeah,
lines. Right?
yeah. There's an official. All right, nobody expects when like teams have thousands that like first
Right.
place ends up with a tie. So just don't tie. All right.
Right.
Because
Right, not allowed. So beyond that,
I don't
fifth
like
is fifth with 9 kills will do it, and sixth with 12 kills. Beyond that, seventh with 14, and then it's I think it's just 2 kills per. So like 7th with 14, 8th with 16,
yeah. Okay.
so on and so
Yeah,
forth.
so it just gets tougher. The further down they place, they just need to frag out. So I guess let me ask you this, 17.
That's good,
obviously you want to keep your first place spot here with the 75 points. But if you were the wild card coach, all right, just put yourself there. Put yourself there. What advice would you give these guys? I mean, just keep doing what they've been doing. I mean, you've been watching them all night from the bird in the sky in the helicopter, watching their rotations and all that good stuff. So as their coach, right? What would you tell them going into this last game of the night if they want to get that 75 points?
How long of a delay are we on here?
8 minutes.
That's not long enough for me to give you an honest answer. I would tell them.
Whoa!
I would tell them to keep doing what you're doing, and everything will be fine.
That's it. Come on, man. You're the coach.
I can't give you an honest
Big
answer. I can't give you an
That's a
honest
good
answer because
answer.
they go out there and do it, and then they pass us. And
All right.
I'm all about
Feel you,
that
man.
manifestation, that good juju, and I think we got this, Dave. I'm feeling good.
Yeah,
You
it's
think
exciting.
optics
That's
got
exciting.
Yeah.
I think we got this, man.
You're feeling
and,
good now.
And like
You're
I said
feeling good.
earlier, if they come out and they pass us, hey, they deserve it. Good games to them, and that's just PUBG. I want. This is gonna sound cheesy and everything, but I want everyone in this community to succeed because we all grow, right? So the more teams that do well, the better. Of course, I want my share of the money, but I guess this is a good chance to say anyone on up and coming teams or just fans of the scene. I'm always here for advice. Or I know a lot of you guys message out, but I really do want what's best for everyone. So let me just play good guy 17 for a
Yeah,
moment.
you're chilling
Yeah,
now.
17.
This guy's relaxed now.
he's-
This
he's-
is the last game.
No,
he's
he
like
got his
relaxed.
check
Oh,
mark
I got the
today.
first
He got his
place.
check
Oh, yeah,
mark
I'm
today.
good.
That's what it is. He's
Yeah.
like,
He's
I got a
relaxed.
check mark now. So if you got any
Going
questions,
into game 3, he was
know.
like sweating. He was like, "Hey, you got deodorant advice?" Now he's like, "Oh, I'm just hanging out." Hey,
I just
anyone
want some
wants
Bible thumps in the chat.
to- Oh
No,
man,
I think this is actually perfect because you don't want a final game when it comes down to it where like they need like a first place of 20 kills where it's like some crazy thing. Like this is a realistic average game for wildcard. You either play above average or you play below average. You either win or you lose. You either get first or second. That's what it comes down to. It's
if you ain't first or last.
if you ain't first, you're last.
Ricky
Not in
Bobby.
this case.
You
though,
know,
I mean,
you know what's
Ricky
also
Bobby.
crazy here, which is awesome, right? I just want to point out that they need 75 points, and our average points per game is 75.5. So what better way can you say, hey, can you do it in one game than this
So
game 20?
if they get 75 points, their average would be 75.5. So they literally need to get their average right now because there's one game left. So their average right
No,
now
that's
actually
optics.
is
That's
75.
how
Right, but if they had the same score, it would be the same.
Yeah, if they tied, they'd have the same score. So
Oh.
how awesome is that? That's a cool dynamic.
It is. It is. I'm freaking. So right now, Wildcard's average points per game is 75.5 or 75, somewhere around there. It's super close. All right, it's not exactly.
Yeah.
It should be like 75. So they need better than average to take first place. And
Well, it
that's
should
what
be
comes
just
down to.
right over 75.5, right? Because
something like that.
75 would be lower than 0.5, so
Yeah.
they'd go down
We're
from
getting
like
really.
maybe
It's
75.
exactly
I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out.
75.
I gotta get in this game. You guys are freaking me out.
Dave's house is on the line.
My house is
It's
on the
like a
line.
Mortgage, all right.
Relaxing, hanging
We should-
out. I mean, my whole house is on the line right now.
So
Dave, if you need a place to stay after this game, let me know.
That's cool. I'm just gonna travel.
just gonna travel. I mean, you got
Travel.
some stuff to pay
Okay,
back. I'm
can
sure
I
you're gonna
say
travel,
two
get
stick
out of
shots?
here.
2 stick shots. Fignaldo, his stick shot. I believe on Godspeed. Bam, headshot, getting the raise. That has to feel bad. And then Vegas. I mean, they were on fire. They got second place there, but Vegas, we saw them take out Exodus and shoot the kill. these guys, E United, on fire.
United's
that
a good
last
team,
game.
man. United's a really
Yeah.
good team. I'm very excited to see more of them. Unfortunately, they had a really rough. They missed a week of PUBG Online. They were away, and it was one of those things. It was 3 in the morning. They couldn't play, and we couldn't find a real rotation to get all the other teams back. So they lost some points there. But E United, man, they're a really good team, and I'm really excited to see more from them in the future. I think they're going to be one of the top teams in NA for a while. For sure.
For sure. And we talked a lot about the hypotheticals and set the stage for this next game. Really excited to watch it, but I don't want to let the Ghost performance and what EU and Hooligans, I don't want to get that let that get in the way. Go ahead, Mac.
No, absolutely. Guys, it's time. The final game. Game number 4. Right now, let's kick it over to myself and Torosaurus.
Let's go, baby. Game 4, the final game of Split 1 for North America PUBG Online, and the plane is in. I am Porosaurus, and with me, of course, is Jabroni.
Hey, what's up, man?
Esquire.
No, it's Jabroni. It's Jabroni.
Damn it.
Just whoa. Jeez, man, that was some toxicity. Now, I don't know what it is with this unknown bug, but why do all these players it's always the same guys. So
I was wondering that before, because we saw FaZe had 2 players had it from earlier, and it's always, you're right, it always is the exact same players, and you can see, we have a team full of unknowns except for Microfry, still, unfortunately. But this is a nice plane. I like this plane for a final game. This is a plane that opens up a lot. You should still be able to see a few teams being able to make it to George, should they be so inclined. But right now, Razak, once again, looks like it's going to get pretty hectic early on.
It's a violent place, man. Razak is a violent place. Envy does look to be going full commit, though, so they should be able to hold that one down. Exodus staying a little bit to the west. They're going to grab their vehicles, get over to North Georgia Pole. Optics not playing tonight. They get all of North George. They can hold that down. They can use it. I would like to see how Exodus rotates out of this. I would like to keep an eye on that, because I do think in game number 1, I didn't love the decision that they made to stay. And then in the future, they kind of moved around, and they have been eliminated early tonight. But Exodus was a team. They played super, super well their first week with this brand-new roster, and I think they're an exciting new team in NA, and I definitely want to keep my eye on them, especially moving forward. Here's Boom from Noble in the middle of nowhere with an M4, no helmet, nothing, just kind of peeking out, trying to make sure he's safe. I think he saw somebody from E United teasing a little bit.
Definitely saw E United unknown. He's hoping maybe he could get a vision on him and get some long-range M4 shots before he made it into the buildings, but that was not going to happen, so he's just going to go ahead and go back to looting, not try to push it or anything, because God knows, you try to push that, that's
look at that circle.
Look at that. Oh,
wow.
Man.
What a circle.
Sexy.
Let's just take a second. This is how you finish a season of PUBG out. Look at that.
Screenshot it, boys.
That'll never happen again.
It's got water in it.
Yeah,
Trash.
I mean, it has to. I don't think a circle can actually exist without water in it on this map. Surprise.
Oh no,
fact.
Tilda. Tilda? Did he run himself over?
I have no idea what happened here. I can't even.
No.
Jump out of the boat too fast, or?
Oh no, Tilda. Look, we all get the nerves. We're not. Syphil, don't just watch him. That's rude.
Don't just watch him.
He's got a teammate that's gonna go ahead and res him.
No way, that's the best.
Who said the emote system was trashed? You're a damn
The
fool.
emote system is the best thing this game's ever added, by the way.
Well, you can
Besides
see.
weapons
Okay, we had. Oh yeah, let's get it. You gotta let him know. Gotta let him know.
I want to know who that is. I want to personally congratulate them for being my favorite.
Well, we can see that Exodus did make their transition over to North George, so decided to play it a little bit safer. Fortunate they were able to find vehicles and get away from Envy, but it looks like our early game is going to be nice, casual, with the exception of some inter-team BM going on from Where's My Monitor. Everything else seems like it's going to go according to plan, at least for now.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so let's pan over a couple of these squads here specifically. We talked about Exodus a little bit. Let's check out I know we have Envious in Rozhok. Let's pop into Rozhok here, break this down, see exactly what we have for the statisticians right now for where we have the wonderful Envious. Now we have Jesse Lowell, okay? We have our unknown. Our unknown tonight is actually Kaisuko. That is the new fourth for Envious, so we don't actually get to see the name today. Unfortunately, that is the replacement for Venerated, longtime Envious member. Has recently left the team. They do have Caden and Checkshooter. This team has been around for eternity. If you know NA PUBG, you know Envious, and here they are in Rozhok. This game is important for them. They need a big one. They need to clutch it out. They need to make sure they have a good performance, a good placement, a good amount of kills here to secure their spot in Showdown for Split 2. So keep your eye on team number 11.
Yeah, Envy definitely starting to crank things up with the addition of Kaisuko, playing a lot better, a lot more clean lately, I would say. They're finding themselves in good positions. Their transitions and their rotations have gotten a lot better in recent weeks. So expecting to see them definitely make it to that top 16.
Oh, and this is actually cool. We do have an updated leaderboard.
Okay.
If we can sneak it in here.
Tell me more.
And you're not going to see Envious on this leaderboard. They're actually holding down the 17th spot right now, right behind 4 PUBG players. So 4 PUBG players are still holding on, but it looks like they will likely be eliminated and lose their spot. Nova is the big story, though, on this leaderboard, because Nova may be able to sneak out of this one and hold down their spot. There's a few teams that can catch them, but it's looking pretty good unless Slime Squad has a huge game here. Nova should be safe.
You see some quick shots coming out of E United. Unfortunately, weren't able to get the down. Also, weren't able to get a tire on that buggy. So a lot of times you see when players are shooting at a vehicle, you'll see them specifically go for the tire, especially on the buggy, because I mean, if you've played any PUBG at all and you've been shot at whilst driving a buggy, the second a tire goes out on that thing, you just start fishtailing all over the place. And had they been able to get a tire on that thing, I think they might have been able to come home with a kill on it. But unfortunately, it was not meant to be. You can see Noble now moving in just to the east, and Geis might end himself in a 3v1 here if he's not careful. He gets vision.
Ooh, guys, I like the little cheeky lean there coming out of guys, getting the down onto Boom. 2 more Noble players in front of him. Natural taking some damage from elsewhere as the other EU boys came from behind. 3 players from Noble, all down. Edak goes down. Oh no, Natural's still alive. Look at that little tiny HP bar. And now he's gone.
Man, that is so rough for Noble. You go up, running up the hill.
There's Godspeed off in the distance.
Yeah, as Godspeed just slowly makes his way, just cussing at his teammates. But that is really unfortunate to not only get involved in that fight. I mean, you had the fight in front of you, but to get flanked the way they did and get pincered is just really, really unfortunate. But very well played by E United. We're not going to talk about the fact that it took Geis 2 clips from 2 different weapons to get 1 down, but hopefully his aim comes back. Yeah, that's a guy that knows how to shoot. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on this one.
Shots.
As Godspeed just makes his way.
I believe in the Godspeed solo dream. I think he's got this. Godspeed has casted with us once before a very long time ago. And, ever since he switched to playing on Noble, they've attended lands. They've done a really good job. And I believe in Godspeed and his solo dream in this game. Now, we need to check out another team, a very important team. And if I'm not mistaken, let me just check the leaderboard to make sure. Let's check out our wonderful team of Slime Squad. If we can find them there, team number 15. Where are they hiding at? You see them right next to School. This team is the team that everyone needs to be watching. Team number 15 right now. Can they figure this out? They are in 21st, but realistically, a win may get them in. So this is kind of huge when it comes to Slime Squad right now. There is nothing that will get them in besides a win and X amount of kills. And if they get a win with 1 kill, probably not enough. If they get a win with 10, maybe it is. If they get a win with 15, we'll see. So it's one of those things where they cannot fall short in this game. This is their last chance for Slime Squad right now.
Well, that's the thing about this roster is that they are good enough to pull something like that off. And that's kind of one of the things that you love the most about the North American scene right now. You have so many teams that are, all kind of equal as far as skill goes. Like, I'm not going to yeah, I feel like there's a lot of good teams in North America. Basically, is what I'm trying to say here, and you see them getting points. You see them all kind of bottlenecking there towards the middle, but I feel like there's any number of teams that are going to get in that all deserve to be here, and there's going to be a lot that come, fall short of that 16th place mark that, and realistically could do just as well.
Exactly.
So, it doesn't feel like the top 16 in North America is as cut and dry as the results of, this first split is going to lead you to believe. But, this is why we play. The games. You have to be consistent.
This is exactly why we play the games, and it's one of those things, just like you said, where it's just not that easy. There's a lot of teams. Like, I think Nova is a team that should be in Showdown. I think they can definitely compete at that level with the top teams in North America. And will they make it? We're going to have to find out. Here we are, team number 7, the Smoking Aces, cruising along. You see Lefi just flying up in front. Unknown again in the back, Ron Paul TV. All the way ahead. Now, the circle has been pretty good to these players. We're pretty centered. Everyone can kind of move in. It should be a slow start to the game, allowing for a lot of rotations, a lot of teams setting up in a good general direction or location where they're feeling comfortable. And then, hopefully, enough cover as everyone's moving in so we don't have too much of a bloodbath early in this game.
I tell you who's not feeling too comfortable right now. You can't even see him right now because there's so many players around him. But Godspeed, the last remaining member of Noble, right there in between Team 7, Team 1, and Team 12. So is a solo player. You're always thinking, I got to go to the one place. I got to go to the place that no team of 4 will ever want to take. And unfortunately, in this circle, in competitive, apparently, this is not that place, the place that Godspeed picked. Well, it's not the place that not getting attention.
Yeah, the fight is actually walking to his doorstep, and it is Ron Paul TV getting nice and close, walking right up to the shack. Godspeed, do not move. This door will open shortly, and you will have to take the shots. He's going to jump up. He's going to check it out. No. Oh. This is scary.
You got to wonder if the SKS is clipping through the wall. Ron Paul just using this as cover to kind of peek around, see if he can get vision on. He's actually taking shots at set to destroy and gets
down. Wow.
So Godspeed's just chilling in this while all this craziness goes on around him. Ooh, Ron Paul gets taken so low, but fortunately he can't breach this compound where Godspeed is. Now he's getting shot from behind. Who got those shots into him? That's going to be unknown. I'm going to say from Hooligans since all of them are unknown.
From Hooligans, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's huge for Godspeed and Noble right there, saved by the opposition. The new zone, once again, fairly center. We're cutting out a ton of the water. Envious has been feeling pretty good. Ronin as well. Those are two teams obviously trying to get in. Very important for them. Look at the split. Look at the spread on Ghost Gaming right now. Energetic Turtle, Balak, or Balak, as some may call him. McCoy and Profi all spread. Yeah, Balak. BAELOC.
Shout out to Skyline. Shout out to Skyline for never getting anyone's name right. I'm pretty sure he's doing it intentionally to troll me at this point. But Ghost has been doing these wild splits all night. I haven't really seen him do this early, but it looks like they might be just kind of suffering from not having a vehicle or something. They're definitely on foot all the way. So it's going to be interesting to see how they decide to play this out. Are they going to keep this split? Look at Godspeed.
Godspeed's fragging.
But
he died. He did get killed from Lefi. So it is Noble being our first eliminated here. They will take 15th. Godspeed, a valiant effort, grabbing a frag as he exits. I can appreciate that. Make sure you get the kill, but it was Lefi getting the final kill onto Noble, so they have been eliminated. Hooligans here, we see them cruising around. Still alive, holding down a pretty good location. They were taking some shots in this direction. Now trying to clean it up, looking for the loot as a couple of bodies lay here. And, yeah. I only see two.
Actually, Godspeed actually just kind of ruining the game for Smoking Aces here. Smoking Aces down to their last player in Lefi. He's going to go ahead and try to take some long-range shots against Hooligans. Going to see a lot more players than he's willing to deal with. He's going to give himself a little bit of cover. Try to keep them from pushing him, but I don't know how long that's going to last. He does have a vehicle to try to escape as soon as he's able to, but I don't know. What do you do? What do you do if you're Lefi here? Your vehicle's smoking. You got a team pushing on you. Do you stay? Do you try to fight it out, or you try to get? Actually, that vehicle's exploded. He's screwed.
Just get in the
he's got
shack.
nothing.
Just get in the shack.
Well,
You're the new
there's a
Godspeed. Get in the shack.
There's a UAZ on the other side.
Yeah,
So,
I think driving as a solo is pretty terrifying, though. I think it's just one of those things. That
is.
nade, wow,
Whoop.
that was almost very dangerous there for Levi. He did recognize it happening. Hooligans now with the full push as they did spot him out. All 4 members on their way to push on top. Let's see what he can do. The shots come out, taking a lot, takes a ton of damage, looks for it, but no, unknown will take out Levi, and that will be it for Smoking Aces.
Cool sunglasses, bruh. Unfortunately, not going to do good things for Smoking Aces as they are going to go out in 14th. And Team 1 Hooligans just racking up kills now.
Hey, frag out. Frag out in the last week. I like it. I like it a lot. United here moving around. They had a great game last game, looking very, very good. And I think, you know, this team, I like their spread. I like their location, especially in this circle up on the hill. They're holding down both sides. They can see where Ronan is. They can hold down these windows, try and maintain the roads. That's what's so strong about this. Any team coming towards you has to cross a road. Crossing a road, especially in the late game, very difficult. Huge lack of cover as the shots come out from Vegas onto a couple of the members of Ronan.
Yeah, Vegas taking these shots. He doesn't want to hard peek this too much. He knows he's got his teammates back, but he's going to go ahead and just decide to try to get out of there as they know exactly where he is, and he doesn't have his teammates providing any counter fire to really distract them. So they're just content with knowing that Team 4, that Team Ronan is holding down that compound, and they'll keep that in mind as the game progresses. Next time they have to move, just keep in mind that there's 4-man squad in that compound just to the west.
Yep, keep an eye on Wildcard and Pachinki. That's what we talked about, the fight for first place. That is Wildcard. They're in Pachinki right now. All 4 members still alive, holding it down. They're guaranteed top 13 right now. Guaranteed. No kills on the team so far, and they're going to have to move across this field. This could be dangerous if this zone kind of forces them to make the run. Wow, that is a very nice crate, actually.
Why not give 2 8x scopes? You don't like one? Here's 2. We'll throw in a little what we call a lanyap down here in Louisiana. A little something extra, a little something nice. But you can see Ghost as
Did you just make up that word?
No, man. Come on, baby. You ever been to Mardi Gras?
A lanyap.
It's a lanyap.
No, I've actually never been to Mardi Gras. No.
I know that there's like 3 people in the chat that will get my back on this one. Uncivils, I know you got me.
All right, but this
Edak,
new zone,
you got me.
this new zone right now, Poro, this is a huge deal because look at this. You have Rozhok, you have school, you have apartments, you have the compounds down in the south, and you have ruins over on the west. In the middle of this is an open field. There's a huge lack of cover. If this game ends here, it's going to be really difficult for a lot of these teams moving and trying to find cover in this zone. As this one gets smaller, we need to keep an eye on it and see where it goes. Because if it goes in that middle western area right there, it's going to be really tough, and a lot of these teams are not going to be able to find any cover moving in.
And Ghost still in kind of a rough position. None of them, they still don't have any vehicles. They are somewhat back together. McCoy, the only one not with them. He's going to be coming back from the southwest over this hill. They do have this hillside to work with, which is nice, but look at United trying to push on to school right now as SafeRez holding it down as well as they can. They're not going to let you Vegas get res. So Jimmer now in a really tough position. Oh, that grenade is disgusting from Drassel. Is that going to do it for all of United? No, Geist still up, still holding it down in the shack, but a really rough rotation from United here. As Geist is just going to try to wait it out, try to live as long as he can, but it's going to be really hard when you know that there's at least 2 teams that know exactly where you are.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a tough spot to be in. But the good news is it's very hard to push on that without being spotted out from the apartments, from that compound east of Rozhok up to the north. So there's definitely a lot going on there. So let's talk about this. Ghost should be officially in right now. Ronan only needs about 9 points. Envy, 31 points to lock it up if Slime Squad does not pass them. And Slime Squad needs 103.
Oh! Ronan actually getting the down onto the flanker in Turtle, but before they can finish him off, Balak coming out and getting the down himself. So Kraken now trying to make sure Balak runs away and gets off at the top of them. I don't know what Ghost is going to do here. Looks like they might try to aggress on this. Profi definitely pushing forward, getting the down onto Kraken, getting the kill onto that as well. Last remaining member, it looks like Holdamenta, the newly added Ronan member, working this hill, trying to work the line of sight against Profi. Looks like Turtle is going to get res, but now Profi taking shots from somewhere else. So Holdamenta getting a little bit of protection from a white knight, I guess, from the south here.
This
from the
is
north.
really, really bad news if you're Ronin. Coldamenta needs to stay alive. They have no kills right now. They need points. They don't have a choice. They need to get in a showdown. He needs to stay alive. He needs to back off this and make sure that they try and get placement. As he's getting pushed on by Pravi, try and get whatever kill you can, but no, he will go down without a kill, and that is it for Ronin going out in 13th. Will the 2 placements be enough? That is going to be very close. That is going to be very stressful, especially if you're Ronin right now, trying to do the math, trying to figure that one out.
It was always going to be rough for Coldamenta. I don't know if he was ever going to win that as Ghost was full strength coming down on them, and they had to move because you have Team 15 Slime Squad, you have Team 2 Saferez all taking shots on that same location, so Ghost had to finish that off as quickly as they could. And what the hell is going on here?
A little bit of a silence Groza, but it is not enough, as that is, where's my monitor? Going out once again to Wildcard. And now we need to keep an eye on Wildcard as well, because now the kills are starting to rack up.
All right, I love this circle. I love those hills just to the southeast of Watertown here. I just this particular circle, this field, I know it's a wide open area, but there's so much terrain here to work, and there's so many good angles to take. It just makes for some really, really interesting firefights. Now, the only problem is there's so many teams that have to transition and rotate into this. So who's going to take it? Who's going to take the good spots? Are they going to get there first? It looks like Team 3, Shoot to Kill, already making moves towards these northern hills. But you can see McCoy already holding down a little bit of section of ground for Ghost, as Team 2 running real close. Oh, no, real close. They are going to get the turn on him, though. Uncivil's unable to get it down onto that. So Alo and the other unknown member from Saferez are going to be able to get the down onto Uncivil's World Destroyer, now coming up to provide some amount of support. But now the other 2 remaining members from Saferez have now joined the fight. So this is turning into a full 4v4 or 3v3, as World Destroyer is going to go down as well. Alo does go down. Tell what's happening right now. There's so many bullets flying. Our cameras are flying everywhere. Jamal Jr. is going to try to get some amount of flank here, as Drassel is holding the top of the hill while Steezy and Unknown try to get a little bit of healing off. Maybe they can get the res onto World Destroyer while this is occurring.
Yeah, lucky for Shoot to Kill. A lot of shots coming from Ghost Gaming right now on to Saferez. So Saferez actually had to back off. They lost one completely. They had to back off and get the rest. And now Shoot to Kill is going to have advantage as they come up this hill. They will not take shots from Ghost Gaming for the most part unless they overexpose. And they should have nice angles. But no, Unknown from Saferez. He gets the drop, but Jamal gets the turn on him and takes him down. That leaves Drassel and Steezy BB as the last 2 for Saferez. World Destroyer taking some shots in that direction. Does get Steezy, looks for Drassel, and does find it. That is it. Saferez eliminated in 10th place.
That was such a good flank from the unknown player from Saferez, but unfortunately does not land the shots, was not able to turn it into a down. And fortunately for Ghost, while all that was happening, their whole team was able to transition into the circle. Spray, able to get the spray down onto Fignaldo, but not before Unknown from Set to Destroy finishes him off. So that should be a pretty easy res here for Set to Destroy. They are holding down a good compound here in circle. They are safe. For now, at least.
Yeah, where is that rest of Team 15?
Oh,
it's
man,
just MJYo. So all of Slime Squad's dreams are on MJYo, and he is now sitting in blue.
We can also talk about Geis. Geis has managed to stay alive here. The last remaining hope for E United, hanging out in that little shack just to the northeast of school. Oh no, MJYo is not going to make this, and that is going to do it as Exodus gets the final shot into him. Geis going to try to make his way in, but that blue is doing some serious damage. It looks like Regency got in a couple of shots into him, and that's going to do it. Unfortunately, not able to pick up the kill for Exodus as he dies to the play zone, but they now know that their flanks are secure.
Yeah, a lot of teams breathing a deep breath as MJYo went down there for Slime Squad. Ghost Gaming does have center circle to the north. Shoot to Kill in a pretty good location, not under too much pressure. And the zone, very friendly to Ghost Gaming. Exodus is going to have quite the run to try and get into the zone. Rift can maintain the compound they're in. Wildcard is going to have to move. Wildcard now guaranteed a 7th place, but they do need to worry about Space Station Gaming from their south.
A very long, slow flank coming in from Space Station along that southern edge. It looks like Team 3 shoot to kill should not have to move into the fields just yet. I think the very northern tip of that circle is still in, so they can still play those hills. But it looks like Team 9 here, Wildcard Gaming, is aware that Space Station is coming around. They got a shot into Smurf. Smurf able to heal up, but now they have to keep pushing.
Yeah, very stressful. Shoot to kill, still in a pretty good location. Ghost Gaming took some damage. They lost a vehicle, getting a little low, but they should be all right. I like where Set to Destroy is actually right now. I don't hate their location at all. It's tough because they need to make sure that they maintain hooligans off to the south side, keep them out, don't let them kind of breach across the street, which is what they're doing, which is what they're prioritizing right now. You can see from Fignaldo and all of them staying in these buildings on the southern side of it, which I really like. And once they clear that out, they can worry about Wildcard. They can worry about trying to move on to Ghost. As Fignaldo, look at this, just complete concentration to the south. This is the priority.
Ooh, but he didn't actually see Unknown coming in from that garage. Microfry as well, coming in from the side. They're just trying their best to hold this street, but Rift spending a little bit too much time looking at the hill from just to the south of that, seeing if anybody was running down. Didn't know that there was actually 2 players that had already made it their way into the compounds. So looks like he should be able to get res though. As Microfry is actually making a pretty long flank here to try to take a spot on these hills.
I need to get to the other fight with Wildcard right now. We need to get to Wildcard and hold this down as they're trying to defend from the south, because this is the team that can take first. This is the fight that we need to hold. Set Destroy has already located their spot in the top 16. They don't need to worry about that, and the hooligans will not get there. But it is Wildcard. 7 kills already. Guaranteed top 5 as Exodus is eliminated. So it looks like Wildcard has this right in front of them. They will be able to possibly pull this off and grab first place, as they did take out Space Station Gaming.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did take out Space Station. I'm sorry. So Space Station also down now. Wildcard has this whole western side to themselves. They know the south is clear. They know the west is clear. They pretty much only have to worry about Ghost right now, trying to take shots, hold those heads down. They might be pressured by Shoot to Kill a little bit. But it doesn't look like Shoot to Kill is trying to take many shots at him right now. Ghost already has a member down. Balak is pushed out way far to the west here, trying to keep this breach from Wildcard at bay.
Oh, Wildcard's under a lot of pressure. They're taking some shots right there, getting a little low as they push up. Pride's going to be okay, though. He did make it to the deflate. Him and Kickstart now holding it down in the zone, pretty much center circle. McCoy does end up going down. One of the unknown players. Shoot to Kill now has a huge trip to make out of the north. Set to Destroy will be able to hold down that warehouse, but this is Wildcard right now. This is it. This is the first place right in front of them. As long as they can maintain placement, already with 7 kills, they're looking very, very good. We talked about it, 75 points. An average game is what they need. Their exact average is what they need to clutch this one out.
Look at this push by Wildcard. If they can get this against Ghost here, they stand to put themselves in very, very good position. McCoy's already down. They haven't been able to get a res off on him. Meanwhile, Set to Destroy, holding down the warehouse. Doesn't look like they're able to get too many shots. And you can see the last remaining members from Shoot to Kill trying to transition in a vehicle going to this western edge. So that's going to cause some problems for Wildcard here, as they're not going to be pincered.
Yeah, absolutely. They're losing a lot of cover in the position that they're in, but that Shoot to Kill player needs to actually move into the zone, and it's about to start moving. Wildcard now under pressure. The shots are coming out a little bit from the Shoot to Kill players all the way to the north. Still 5 teams alive, still 16 players. The last remaining player for Hooligans is still alive, trying to get into the zone, and this is just, 2 remaining players for Hooligans, I'm sorry. Still trying to sneak into this zone.
Microfry outside of zone right now, though. He's taking some pretty serious blue damage. Not sure where he's going to go, as it looks like Ghost had eyes on him, but now they've changed their focus of attention. So Microfry should be in a good spot here. He's going to take some shots across at McCoy. McCoy does not go down, though. So Team 3 Shoot to Kill actually in a really good spot here. They're safe, able to take some shots, but it doesn't look like they have the vision that they really want to try to get the downs and the kills on it.
Yeah, this is a lot. As Microfry does kill off Fignaldo and Downs Unknown does get the kill there. That's actually huge for Hooligans, kind of clearing this one up, taking the fight to Set to Destroy. Still have Ghost Gaming, team number 10, you see them on the map. Number 3, that is Shoot to Kill, and number 9, that is Wildcard. That's the team looking to grab first place to Set to Destroy, down to 1 member, number 12, in the warehouse area. Hooligans has kind of moved up. They will kind of sneak into zone here. It's pretty big. Energetic Turtle has been down and should get rest.
Yeah, actually really surprised that Hooligans were able to come out on top of this fight with Set to Destroy. Oh, Rift tries to come out. The shots don't land. This wall causes so many problems. Rift does manage to land a couple of shots, but it's not going to be enough as Unknown from Hooligans finishes off Set to Destroy.
Yep, that is a huge, huge job there by Hooligans. They kill 3 players, move in, both players still alive, and they're able to sneak into this final zone. So Shoot to Kill, Ghost Gaming, Hooligans, and Kickstart. The zone favors Ghost.
Well, okay, so Tumai actually just got a down onto Turtle. So this new zone pops. They're going to use this time to push this as hard as they can and hope for the best. World Destroyer actually getting taken out as he tries to run up onto Ghost. Wildcard going to try to kill that, or steal that kill. It's not going to happen. Actually, it is going to happen from somebody else, looks like. McCoy actually getting downed as well now by Tumai. Tumai just going absolutely bonkers with this Car 98, getting these shots. So Balak holding the edge down, playing this really quietly. Tumai goes down now as well. So 3 members of Wildcard still up. You have 1 member of Shoot to Kill still up outside of zone, and the 2 members of Hooligans who could play spoiler at any time.
Yeah, this is huge. Wildcard, they have creeped into the zone, but it is mostly Ghost. Do the other teams come in here and spoil this game for Ghost right now? Get in, put a ton of damage out, and put them under a lot of pressure. Hooligan still has not moved. 5 seconds till the blue starts forcing them into zone. Ghost is going to have to pay attention. They need to hold down the south side. They need to worry about this one random player from Shoot to Kill, which they may be able to spot out. It looks like McCoy may have. He sees the UAZ there. They know something is up in that direction.
Look at McCoy. No vest, no helmet. He is going to go down with the faintest hint of a shot. Ooh, look at how much damage that shot did. So he is got to be really careful with these peaks. You can see they're taking shots across at Unknown from Hooligans. That is going to do it for him, as Microfire, now the last remaining member of Hooligans, he's also going to go down. So that's going to be another kill for Ghost, as Balak still holding this western edge, making sure that Wildcard doesn't push too hard. And it's going to come down to this 4v4 Wildcard versus Ghost. Balak now making himself known. He gets the shots off, but he doesn't get the down. Wildcard all very low. Pride trying to, there's here come the nades. You can see they know where Balak is now. They're just going to start throwing, and Balak going prone, hoping for some cover here. Ooh, Tumai's down.
Yeah, Tumai's down. They lob a grenade towards Balak, so he might be in trouble. Kickstart goes down as well. Balak stands up. He's looking for Pride. He's taking the shots. He almost goes down himself, and he does. But the unknown player is eliminated. It's all up to Pride. Profi went for a wide, aggressive push. 4 players down right from him. Here's McCoy right on top. It's all up to Pride. He's all alone.
McCoy and Energetic Turtle, a 2v1. Pride has got no health. He's got no life. He can't get the res off. He's going to try to get the heal at least, and he should be able to get that off to make it a little bit more fair. Remember, McCoy, no helmet, no armor. He could win this fight. He's going to actually try to go for the res on a Profi, and he's going to go down. As he does so, Energetic Turtle is going to come around and get the final shot, headshot onto Pride. That's going to do it. Another win for Ghost Gaming. This has to be another high kill as well. You can see 12 kills, not 21, but not freaking bad.
Ghost Gaming showing up. A second, a third, a first, and a first tonight in a night that they needed it. Clutching it out. A job well done for them winning that last game. But it is Wildcard with a huge game right here. Win. It is looking like they may have overtaken the first place from Optic. We will get official word on that in just a few minutes. What we're going to do here, we're going to kick it back to the desk. We're going to chat it up about our final game, and then we will get the official scores and the official 16 teams that are moving on to Showdown in split number 2.
Let's get it.
Thank you very much, me. Oh, God, Dave.
I got my rice. I got my Hennessy. I'll celebrate. I get to keep my house. I'm going to go on the streets. Throw this rice. Throw this rice. Woo!
I got my rice.
Sorry, 17.
I got my
Hey.
Hennessy, he says.
Woo!
That is, wow. That is something
Honestly,
else.
they almost took the first place there. So close. So close. I was over here cheering. What a game.
So,
What a
yeah.
game.
What a game, first of all. We will wait for the official
Got to keep that.
calculations, as the wonderful admins do. But it is not looking good if you are Optic right now for that first place spot.
Second place is 80, right? So.
Second place. Second place is 80 points. They did need
second place.
74. So it looks like Wildcard will take first place here. Ton of kills. They played a really good game. They're in a good location. They're very patient moving into the zone. They waited, and towards the end there, it was almost like no one could touch them. They were just shooting in every direction. As soon as they took out Space Station Gaming, I thought that was their biggest threat. I thought that was the team that was going to put the most pressure on, but they were able to handle that. And once they were, I think Wildcard's looking very good for that first place
I
spot.
thought Ghost was. I thought they were being extremely aggressive when they
Ghost
were
is
at
nuts.
5th place. They were 5th place. They only had 7 kills, so they weren't at the cusp. As 17 mentioned, they needed to be 5th place with at least 9 kills. So they were 2 kills away at that moment, and that's when they made the decision. Okay, boys, let's run a little further back. Let's pull back to the woods back there because they were playing super aggressive. I was like, oh my goodness, Ghost is gonna make me lose my house. But they actually pulled back, which I was like, oh, thank God. Wow, what a game still, man. I mean, 17. I messaged you. I think Optic, rank 1 team. Honestly, rank 1 team. NA. You guys are just my favorite. Send me a jersey. I'll wear it every day. But I mean, let's get 17's opinions. I mean, I'm just joking around, right? I mean.
Yeah. I mean,
I love you, man. You're the best. You're the best. I've been watching you since Y10 Fate days, so all love on this end.
I'm
here.
I'm
All
glad you
love.
didn't lose your house, Dave. I'm happy for you,
Thanks,
man.
man. Thanks. I appreciate it.
And
I really am.
Wildcard,
Thanks.
they deserve it. They came out today with 6th first, 6th second, if I'm not mistaken. So putting up a hell of a day, and there's not much more you can say. They deserve it. I think Safe Res coming in 3rd. They had a decent day. They passed totality. A couple other storylines that I was watching. STK there with the first place and a couple kills. They could have.
Yeah, they
come
almost
out
came out of
of
nowhere
nowhere and
yeah.
taken 16th. But here you go. If you want to get into this clip, this nade right here to start it off.
Yeah, this was when we actually thought we were going to be losing shoot to kill in this game as Uncivils goes down, and then World Destroyer is actually down. Jamal Jr. kind of slows this one down, but it was actually Ghost Gaming from the south that kind of saved them here, putting a ton of shots onto Safe Res. Safe Res had to back off, and then Unknown pops up. He gets the 2 kills with the 8x, the full auto, so their dreams were still alive for shoot to kill.
You guys
They
been
had the
fragging
frags.
out all night.
Shoot to Kill had to win that game, and had they won that game, they would have been that team that jumped up from, let's see where they were today, 26th at the start of the day. They would have jumped 10 ranks because they were just coming out of nowhere. They were fragging out. They were having a really big night, so they did have a chance to get into Showdown, but felt a little short. One of those teams where the dream became a possible reality right before Game 4, and it was like, oh, crap, we can do this. We can actually make the jump there. So I'm sure a lot of these teams were doing calculations themselves, as I know 17 does. He's sitting there sending me numbers all the time.
So Optic got 2nd place, though, right? Safe Res 3rd? Is that the math? I mean, so they get money.
Yeah, I think is that official word, or have you gotten? Word
I mean,
yet?
I'll get official numbers, but Safe Res, unless they got 215 points that last game, it should be Optic in 2nd place, Safe Res in 3rd, Totality in 4th. Totality, another team with a really good season. They're pretty close to Safe Res there, and then Tempo Storm rounding out the top 5, which actually might not be true because I think Space Station Gaming might have just passed them. So Tempo Storm might be 6, Space Station might be 5.
All right.
So I do
guess-
want to bring something up. Go ahead, Dave.
No, I was, you bring it up first. I was just going to ask, I guess the scores aren't final yet. So, the bottom teams that we talked about at the beginning of the night.
Yeah.
Just curious to
That's
see
what I
happened
was
with
gonna
them.
bring. That's what I was gonna bring up too. What those predictions were.
Let's talk about, do you guys remember your actual predictions on who was getting it?
I said Ghost and Envious. I
You
think.
said Ghost and Envious.
Ghost
Kenner
for sure.
you said 3 when I asked you for 2, but it was
I said
Ronin,
Ghost, Ronin, and Envious.
Ghost, Ronin, and Envious. And I'm not 100% sure. Slime Squad did go out early in that game, and they were kind of
Slime
the
Squad.
one that we thought.
Yeah, they're not gonna make it. I just think the magic number for Envy going into that game. Let me look at my cheat sheet. There was 31.
Got the TI-83 out here.
This guy.
No. They're guaranteed actually. No. They're guaranteed because in 4 PUBG players is also they took 16th, right? So.
Yeah, it'll be one of
Is that
those.
right?
No, if three of them
No.
got in, Render, Turtle Squad, 4 PUBG players, and Nova, those were the 4 that could lose their spot. So it would be Render loses their spot first, then Turtle Squad,
Yeah.
then 4 PUBG players, and then Nova. I'm
So-
pretty
so-
sure Nova's safe.
No, Envy needed 5 points, which you get for entering the game at this point. So to pass 4 PUBG players, so they did. So that's right. We got
Are
Ghost.
we sure they all got in the lobby? Can we get were they in the lobby?
Yeah. Yeah, we need that
Confirmation on
confirmation
those
for
5
sure.
points for entering the game.
They got 5 points there. Yeah. So
So,
it's like one of those things. I just don't want to. I want to talk about the numbers, but I don't want to say and then be wrong. So that's why
Yeah,
I'm
let me
not sure.
speculate. Let me
Yeah, let's
speculate. and
speculate
then you
away,
can come out
speculate
with
away,
the- You can
speculate
come
away.
out with the
Yeah,
the
please,
official numbers here in a minute.
please.
So, yeah, Envious needed 5 points going into that game to pass 4 PUBG players. Ronin was already ahead of them, and then of course Nova got their spot safe when it was actually when Ronin died, but Slime Squad couldn't pass him. But I want to shout out Ghost. You know, like I know we've talked about him a lot, but before that game even started,
Yeah.
they were in 8th.
Mhm.
So just a hell of a move up the ladder there. They're gonna get a bunch of points there. I can see them maybe getting 5th, even over Tempo and Space Station. So
Maybe.
to go from what I know you got the numbers, Mac. Where were they before the day started?
Where was who before the day started?
I think they were at
Ghost.
22
Ghost
at the very
was
beginning.
Ghost was at 22. Yeah, they were 22nd
Woo!
before the day
Wow.
started. Now, we're going to jump to that right now because we do the official scores. If we can flip the cool little thing that shows the thing with the points.
Flip the
So,
thing.
Bam. Ghost
Oh.
Gaming takes 2nd or 5th place. They jumped up. Wildcard did get 1st overall, so they did pass you guys at Optic. We kind of assumed that one was going to happen based on the numbers. So big shout out and congratulations to Wildcard, first and foremost on
GGs.
taking first place.
GGs for
Job
sure.
well done. They're the winners of split number 1. They win the $3,000. Second place, $1,500 going to this guy and his team. Optic, obviously. And then Safe Res coming in 3rd, getting a clean 500 spot. And, of course, all of these teams getting entry into split number 2. Now, as we roll down, we see Totality finishing up in 4th. Ghost Gaming going from 22nd to 5th today, which is
Amazing.
absolutely insane. A huge day. Tons of kills. Going crazy. Space Station Gaming started off the day in 14th. Finish it off in 6th. Looking good. So Tempo Storm dropping all the way down to 7th. I think they were 3rd
it
going
going.
into today.
Keep it going.
And we're going to keep scrolling. No, hey, hold on. Slow it down.
Whoa.
Set to Destroy
Okay.
X. A great team so far. I talk about it. STDX 2018 is an awesome team, and I'm really happy with them. The God Squad making it in. No problem there. 9th place. They were pretty secure going into tonight. Team Gates also locked up a spot earlier. Yesterday, I believe they played yesterday. And I think they might have been locked up.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
Duel.
yeah.
Duel. Do you even lift, bruh? Yeah.
Do
all right.
you even lift?
Do you even lift, bruh? There is a
I try.
bruh at the end of that, by the way.
So it's dual bruh.
Dual
Duel,
bruh.
bruh.
Yeah, exactly.
Dual bruh.
FlyQuest coming in at number 12, so they will make it into Showdown. And, of course, Cloud9, a team that was struggling so hard in PUBG Online. And what did they do? They came out in the last couple weeks and just bam! And here are your final 3. Nova Esports keeps their spot at number 14. Just 3 points behind them. Ronin did get in. They did qualify. They did make it. And our 16th place team, Team Envious, making it in by 11 points. So, 17, it's weird.
Props to STK for a good day.
Yeah, and Shoot to Kill jumped all the way up to 18. So I think that was huge. They went from 26 to 18. They almost got in. They almost just came out of nowhere. They weren't even a team I was really eyeballing because I thought it was such a crazy feat for them to get that many points and get in. But they did such a good job that they almost made it. So congratulations.
And I just interrupted you, but I think you were about to give me like a little bit of credit for the prediction. Right
Oh,
before I
no,
interrupted
no,
you. So
no,
I just want to just get back to that. I don't know if it's.
I was going to say that you did predict that 3 of the 4 teams I mentioned before we got into this would make it in, and you said that Render, Turtle Squad, and 4 PUBG players would get removed by the 3 teams in Ghost, Envious, and Ronin, and you were correct. So there's your
basically,
credit.
what you're saying is, if anything bad happens to him with Optic, he's always got a job here, secure job with PUBG Online.
He
You're
might
the boss.
he might be the best statistician of all time.
I'll let him take my spot. Honestly, I love listening to this guy. He's
Dave,
on
I've
point
told you
every
this.
single time.
No. Hold on. Stop. I've told you this 1,000 times. I will fight somebody to the death before we stop having you here. Okay, I will literally fist fight somebody.
I don't know if I'm coming back though, man. I'm telling you, I really bet my mortgage on this house, on this
feel
bet.
like-
and
Yeah,
I made a shit ton of money.
good right
let's
now?
get back to the wild card, man. They deserve the talk right now. So props to them.
Absolutely. And
That was
Props
a
to
great
them.
first split.
now going
Hey, I'm looking
forward,
forward to next split.
Yeah, that's
looking forward.
that's what I want to get to. Going forward to split number 2 for U17, you're looking at these teams, and obviously it's going to be a tough lobby every single week. It's the same 16 teams every single week. Give me a
I'm
little
so excited.
insight on what you think. I mean, obviously, yeah, the excitement's there. You're ready to go. You have a strong lobby.
Let me tell you why I'm excited. So not only is it a strong lobby with great competition, I think there's only probably, not to discredit anyone, and I'm not going to name names, but I think there's only 2 teams that I'm really surprised are not going to be playing.
Okay.
And I won't say names or anything like that, but so that means, in my opinion, 14 of the 16 best teams are going to be in the lobby. So that's excitement number 1. Excitement number 2, for me as a player who watches VODs and knows teams' rosters and calculates in games how many people or at least try to, how many people on each team are up. It's so great to have a set roster that I know is these people are playing every week. So what we've been doing in not only PUBG Online, but the other leagues that we're also participating in is this jambalaya. Each week is someone different. Someone comes in who I'm not really sure, who's on their roster. So I see player X die, and I think he's on a different team than he really is. So that's really exciting for me because I can get these 16 teams rosters. I'm sure I know probably all of them already, but I can get them down, and it makes not only like spectating and preparing for games and VOD reviews and everything so much easier, but in game too, it helps a lot. So that is what I'm most excited for going into the second half of season 1 here.
And you get North George.
That's true too.
Are you? Are
there
there any of these teams that you think might meet you guys up in North George? Kind of.
I know Cloud9 has been going up there a little bit, but I think that's more in lobbies where we're not playing. Obviously it's always best to just avoid conflict.
Right.
Really
Avoid optic.
100%. And it's just one of those things where we'll kind of see how it develops because it is something that I see a lot of teams look at, and other teams I notice they don't, where they don't really figure out and study where everybody's dropping. And it's like, okay, who do we have in this lobby? They're going here, they're going here, they're going here, they're going here. This is open, this is open, this is open. Let's take that. Some teams do it, and you notice that they do it because they kind of rotate lobby to lobby. They were switching where they were looting. And other teams are kind of like, I'm just going to slam the same spot 1,000 times, and if you're here, we're fighting.
So who's your biggest competition there moving into split 2 optic? Who's optic's biggest competition just by looking at the top 16?
It's got to be the champions, Dave. It's got to be the champions.
So you're looking forward to fighting
Gaming's coming in as they're coming in as the champions in PUBG Online. So we're looking. Everyone should be aiming to dethrone them. So Lampremorsk, not North George.
I guess that's the true
nice,
test.
nice.
That's the true
And,
test. Now you guys will actually be in the lobby every single game. So
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
I mean that's
I'm
a true
interested.
test.
I'm interested to see if Saferez can come out and perform like this. MLGB before they were Saferez, for those of you who don't know, they were MLGB, and they've always been a team who had so much potential. And we saw last year, starting in maybe August or September, just month after month of them being at the top of contenders and just not being able to make it through promos. So it's great to see them in here. Well deserved. It's going to be exciting to have them in to see if they can continue to perform. Obviously, Ghost is performing very well right now, especially they're coming off a LAN victory.
New roster, man.
The first NA,
Feeling good.
First NA LAN victory, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Very,
very exciting
I've been telling
stuff.
everybody this for years.
America is the best.
NA.
That is true.
Yeah, we converted Bollock and Turtle, so he's
They're
already
NA.
now
Dude, this
EU,
is NA.
and
It's
can't
an
have him
NA
back,
team. Yeah,
so.
get out of here.
They might
If
not
you're in the
realize,
EU
but they
watching
are
this, get
they
out
are
of here.
actually both American now. So that's
Yeah,
very
that's-
important.
that's-
Once you
Hey, hot
join,
dogs, hey,
you're
hamburgers.
playing in NA PUBG Online. You
He
are
knows.
American. We accept
Right.
your
Kool-Aid.
accent. We accept it all. So we're gonna
Shout out to
close
High
out
Park.
for the night.
Barbecue.
Shout out to HiPoc from 17. We're gonna close out for it tonight. First of all,
Sweet
17
tea.
and Dave, thank you both for joining me. A huge congratulations to Wildcard for taking split number 1, taking first place. A job well done for them. I think it's a team definitely to keep an eye on. Looking forward. Optic, second place, of course, 17. Congratulations on that and the rest of the squad. A job well done. Very, very close. Only 39 points away and in third place.
Oh, can I ask him one more question? One more question. What are you gonna do with the money? What are you gonna do with the money?
I'm I'm gonna make. We're gonna revamp the Hit Your Mailbox music video.
Brand new sub alert coming at you. Save Frez, congratulations for coming in third overall, former MLGB. A job well done. And all of the teams, of course, that got in the top 16 and will be playing in Showdown. This is the last stream for PUBG Online this week. We have so many exciting, amazing things coming next week. I literally am like bursting at the seams right now. But be here Monday, EU, 1 p.m. Central Time next week as we kick off split number 2 with the Showdown lobbies on Monday. EU at 1 p.m. Central, NA at 7 p.m. Central. It's going to be exciting. You're going to have your 16 teams. You're going to be ready to go. I'm stoked. I can't wait. Dave, I hope you join me as much as humanly possible on all the future casts. 17, I will enjoy, and I'm looking forward to watching you play in the Showdown series, of course, in the future. It's Porosaurus on the cast and Esquire until we lost him to the internet cracking as he left us, which is kind of unfortunate. Thank you for all the mods, the viewers, and, of course, all the players. It was a wonderful, amazing time. And Syphil and Sap for clicking the buttons that make things move
thank you
around
guys.
on
Thank
screen.
you guys for having me.
Thank you for
I
joining
appreciate
us.
it. The last 2 weeks was great experience, and I have a blast doing this. So I want to thank you guys over there for having me, and hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Hopefully we can. It's kind of difficult, though, when you play. So, you know.
Contenders, maybe. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. We'll get something worked
I think Jabroni just fired me.
Not yet. Not you, ever. We talked about this. You're never getting fired. On
Yeah,
top
you
of
keep saying
that,
it.
and you're still not fired.
What you just said, I hope to see you again one day. Whoa! All right, all right. Well, nice being on PUBG Online. You guys are the best. Appreciate it.
Dave, I love you. All right, that is it for us here tonight. Everyone, have an amazing night, and I hope you enjoyed split number 1.
With a pop and they mind, break me, I can no longer tell time. Mayday, mayday. Can you read me? Can you hear me? Are you near me? Here I stand on my side of this divide. Your eyes, they meet me, but they falter. Giving up, letting go. Times we might feel compelled. Looking down from the heights that we have built all by ourselves. And there is fear of the unknown, but we cannot lose control. When we feel like the world is against us, we're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for. Into the infinite that we must reach. 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 Now which way do we go is the question to ask. There are so many choices that it's hard not to look past. What is real and what is fake, and the risk we have to take. Will we know what is throwing off our balance? We're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for. Hey man, can you believe it? I fear the floor under my feet. I'm standing